this Christmas together. And the minutes they pass and the hours they fly.
Yes,
What a
guys, it
moment.
is the season. Look at the lights.
Yes.
Look at the twinkles.
Do you see the twinkles behind me? I have decorated the home for Christmas a little bit. There's still, ornaments to be placed on the tree.
There's always ornaments to be had.
Always ornaments
when
to
it
be
comes
had.
to Christmas and the festive season.
Yes.
You always add.
But
Never take away.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandra's here never here early. I'm glad you are here early
Sandra,
tonight.
hello.
We just saw you so recently.
I know. A week and a day ago.
Oh my God. I can't believe that was just a week ago. Oh,
Time flies.
time really flies.
Oh my God, it's been so long since we've had a live. I know.
It's not been that. I mean, we were on Twitch on Thursday.
Yeah, but
a
was
live
Jeff
podcast.
there?
He popped in for a minute and got
Okay.
mad for having to download Twitch again. Hey, Jake. How are we all
you?
doing?
Everyone good?
Hey, Yazzie Montrez. I think I saw your mom here. And Garwing. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are we doing today?
Oh, I still haven't put 2Gay Matt's Blue Sky on my
Oh my
phone.
gosh.
It's fine. We don't have enough followers yet.
Happy Sunday all. I saw Wicked Part 1 today. So great. Yes, it was a moment.
I love how people are now officially calling it Wicked Part 1.
I love
it's not just Wicked, it's Wicked Part 1.
It's also funny that none of the marketing for that movie is calling it Wicked Part 1.
No,
it's just Wicked. So what's
But-
the next one?
Wicked Part 2. What's the next one?
But it's like Wicked and then Wicked Part 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wickeder.
I mean,
More Wicked.
It just seems odd. Like,
Why is it odd? Wicked Part 1, Wicked Part 2.
But they're not calling it Wicked Part 1 and then the press. It's all like the
well,
promotion.
no, but like
Wicked.
in the title card
That's
for the actual
true.
movie, it said
That's
Wicked
true.
Part 1, and it was like, oh,
That's true.
You sneaky bitches
I heard-
are adding this in the actual movie, but not in any of the marketing.
I heard a rumor.
Yeah.
Just off the record that it might have a subtitle.
It might have a subtitle.
Yes.
Wicked, the Two Towers.
No, Wicked for good. I heard it.
That's so gay. Wicked for good.
For good.
Is Ariana winning an Oscar? It's not out of the realm of possibilities, guys.
Yes.
Like,
Girl, no one is using Twitch anymore besides those gamer people and Michael Smith. Jeff, you were using it. Matt S., have you seen Gladiator 2 yet? I believe you have, yeah?
yes.
Yeah.
It was, well, we'll talk about it.
Oh, we'll talk about it. Okay.
I was about to be like, yes, it was my give me. Oh, no, it wasn't.
I love Wicked.
I saw Gladiator 2 Sunday.
And Jackson's seeing it right now.
Glad Jackson's seeing it right now. I saw it on Sunday because I had the night off because we did not live stream.
We did it.
So
It's
thank
always,
God for
it's
that.
always wonderful when we have the Sundays off.
I
It's
never
just
know what
like-
to do. It's so weird.
I
it's
love it.
so weird.
I'm like, oof. I became a member.
Oh, I saw that. You became a patron.
Oh,
Montrez.
patron? Oh, that's so
Yeah.
kind. Thank you for being there. If the Wicked franchise becomes huge, do they adapt more of the books, Wicked Cinematic Universe? No. Just do those first two.
Hey, beauties. Us Swifties have been getting busy getting our books this weekend. Eras.
Oh.
I know. And end of an era.
It is the end of the eras. It's
It's
true.
time. And she's probably tired
She
as
must
hell.
be. She must be. Like, who wouldn't be tired after the amount of work, the length of time this tour has been going on?
Yeah.
She deserves a break.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, she's been all around the world.
Yes.
So
Wait, you kind of hated Wicked,
Oh my God,
Jake.
tell us why.
Oh my
Give us
gosh,
your
I can't
opinions.
believe this. And Jake's a performer, isn't he? I feel like Jake is like in musicals and stuff. So, Jake, why did you hate it? We're on pins and needles.
Give
because
us a detailed list.
we
Let
were
the people know.
enjoying every gay moment. We really were. Oh my gosh. So I mean, I love that we're back in the chairs. We're back where we should
We're
be.
sitting. Yeah.
You know,
It's
ideally
nice.
we would have had, some a live podcast to play for you last week.
But you know, things happen.
Things happen and we move on.
we got a song on YouTube.
That's true.
Listen to us sing.
And it's fun.
And it's very
fun. And we sound good.
We sound great.
We sound great.
Calling something part 1 makes it something that doesn't have to be immediate, and it's bad for marketing, aka why Dune was successful and not Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. That's okay.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
Fair.
But
That's
I mean,
true. Dune was just called Dune.
don't we all know that Wicked Part 2 is coming though? Like that's so like I feel like common knowledge.
Not
at this
everyone
point.
has
Really?
that
I never know
knowledge,
what the
no.
general public knows and doesn't know.
I watched the Beyonce album reviews from debut to
Oh yes, good. We only have Cowboy Carter left to do, I think.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how sure are we that for Cowboy Carter for album of the year? 6.5.
I'm saying 3.
Whoa!
I'm not
3.
sure. I have been burned
I'm
hard.
saying it's the least. I'm saying she has less of a chance than Renaissance Lemonade or Self-Titled.
She has a less of chance this time.
Or actually, seeing the competition that was like Self-Titled, I knew that the Beck album was very much considered a front runner. Lemonade, I knew that 25 was its biggest competition. Like, I knew that Harry's House was the biggest competition for Renaissance, but so this year I feel like there's less of like a clear
this is the
competition.
Yes,
but I don't feel as confident as I did with maybe Lemonade or maybe Renaissance. I don't know.
Oh God, I if it doesn't win, I will be more okay than I was. Renaissance really shook me. I was just so certain. So that really shook me. So now I expect the worst and hope for the best.
Are you getting the Cowboy Carter art book? There's an art book?
There is. It's $74. And her, you get free shipping on the Beyonce.com website if you have an order of $75 or above. It's like, you bitch. So, you and Taylor, I swear I get on the phone. It's like, how can we squeeze
Evil.
How can we squeeze these gays dry?
Oh, my God. I promise I loved Wicked. I was talking about hating Gladiator too.
That's
Guys,
so funny. Oh, my God. I was like, oh, Jake hates Wicked. That would have been kind of iconic if you just popped in with an I hate Wicked.
It'd be kind of funny if he never clarified and everyone until the end of time thought that he hated Wicked, but it was actually Gladiator 2.
Jake Price hates Wicked. He does.
I just want her to win country album. She's winning.
Yeah, she's winning that.
Will you film your album of the year reaction?
I don't know.
I'll be here.
Are we a part of the problem? Maybe we're jinxing it.
We didn't record a reaction to Self-Titled. That was before we were smart enough to do shit
I
like
know
that.
that is before. The thing is, the only reason I recorded the last one was because I was so excited to be like, oh, remember how sad we were when Lemonade lost? But look how happy we are now that Renaissance wins. Yeah. But it's do you just want to see our hearts break every year?
They do.
Maybe they do. Maybe we got to just set up the
Grammy
camera.
voters are just I want to watch those mats
squeal. Exactly. Those gay mats.
It's us, people.
Oh, it's gay people. Hello.
Hi. Hey, gay people. Billboard ranked Beyonce as the greatest pop. Well, it's not official yet.
Could you?
But it's.
Imagine.
I mean, they that would kind of be the funniest fucking thing.
That would be insane.
Yeah,
of course, it's Beyonce. I had so much fun at the live show. Met such great people, including Jackson. He's a keeper. Oh, thank you,
yes,
Sandra.
Jackson's a king.
Yes, we love. And Jackson was rocking the merch, which is available now at shop2gaymats.com.
Hey, shop2gaymats.com.
Yes.
Renaissance losing put a stake in my heart. I'm going to fan the flames of the rumor that
Jake
hates Wicked.
How was y'all's Thanksgiving? It was good. We'll talk about it on the podcast. I had such a crush on Jonathan Bailey during Wicked. I have been squealing about Jonathan Bailey for a while now.
Since his Company days, when he was in Company in London?
No.
Didn't care about him then, did you? Don't act like you were an OG fan.
I told you to marry him months ago.
You can't just tell me to marry someone.
I can't.
Months ago.
Months ago, yes. When I was watching Fellow Travelers. And I was like, who should marry? Jonathan Bailey.
Listen, I have a say in who I should marry, okay? You
As if you wouldn't marry Jonathan Bailey if he asked.
I need to date him first, see if he's the marrying kind. See if he is able to provide.
I'm pretty sure all of his Bridgerton and Wicked and all his other money will be doing a good job.
Yeah, Lord knows my Devos movie is not doing that for him. So I can provide an entertainment.
And then maybe you could cast him in. Is he too old for your next script?
Oh, no one's ever too old for.
And I was gonna say, if he's young enough to be in university in Wicked or whatever, he can be young enough for the film.
If he can play 18 with all that gray in his beard.
As soon as he popped out, Jackson was like, "Really?" I was like, "Whatever." He looks great.
He does look great, and he is great.
Yes.
Yes, Thelma. I heard a great theory as to why Taylor does well at the Album of the Year Grammys because all the pop girls split the pop votes, but even though she's no longer in country, she still gets the country vote.
Okay, I hear that.
Out of the realm of possibilities.
It's not Taylor again. Sorry, Swifties. It's called Investing. Been on the Jonathan Bailey train since Broadchurch 10 years ago. Wow, Jake, you were early. No, I think Fellow Travelers was when I knew of him floating about, but I think that was his first thing that I had seen him act in. I was like, a performer.
Look at that.
Look at that. But that's the thing. Would you even want to be with another performer? That's a good question. I feel like
if he was hot and successful.
But it wouldn't bother you.
I'm sure he's very nice. He seems nice.
It wouldn't bother you we do the exact same thing.
We don't do the exact same. Darling.
Oh my God, here we go.
He does his thing. I do mine.
Okay.
I think we are very different types. Let's not forget, I got an audition for Bach and not Fierro.
That's true. You are different. So that's why you can't marry Ethan Slater.
No, I can't marry another Bach.
You can't marry another Bach.
Two Bachs together just would never work.
Yeah.
But a Bach and a little something different.
A little. Who do you think wins Best New Artist? Chapel.
Yeah,
I do think it's Chapel. No one looked the age they were supposed to be in Wicked except Ariana. LOL. Baby Nessa looks like Mariah Carey to me. I love that. Nessa was the weak link for me. I'm worried about her song in Act 2. What, vocally or just like performance-wise? I thought she did a fine job.
I think she could do it. I think she.
Yeah, I think.
Also, it's a very short song. It's a very short song. No, I liked her a lot. Oh, and that little Nessa. She's all over my Twitter.
Is she really?
Oh, baby Nessa is all over my Twitter. Twitter must know that, like, I love little baby Nessa.
Baby Nessa.
It's just like a clip of her going, yeah, like all over.
Hey, baby Alphaba was cute too, even in the green.
But she wasn't a baby. She was a mature 5-year-old.
She was such a mature
6-year-old.
5-year-old. Yes. I feel like being a performer in the same industry could be endearing. I guess. I just worry about situations where it's like, is this ever going to feel like competitive?
No,
you know?
I don't. I'm not. I'm someone who dates people who are like the opposite of me.
Right.
Like whenever people see something, I'm like, oh, I'm going on a date with this person. People are like, what?
Right.
I can't see you two together. And I'm like, I know.
That's what you want.
Whenever, but like if I'm ever on set or whatever, it's never the other actors. I'm like, ooh, who's that? It's always like the gaffer.
Oh, no,
or
I
like
know.
the like assistant camera guy number 2.
But
I'm
the
always
thing
like,
is,
what's his deal?
I feel like the thing with the camera people
Yeah.
is they got to hold that camera. So they're like a little jacked just by nature
Yeah.
of the job.
And they can hold me.
Okay, there you go. I mean, because we've all been on sets and been like, what's his
What's
deal?
his
What's
deal?
his deal?
And like they're always
And
like
it's-
quiet.
And spoiler, they're all straight. Not all, I'm sure.
Nope.
But the ones that I've interacted with.
The ones I've interacted with are not.
Really?
I mean, some of them.
Okay. What's their deal then?
I'm not telling everybody on the internet what their deal
No, I'm
is.
asking you. Are you in touch?
Some of them.
Okay, great. There you
No.
go. Drake is such a Karen. By the way, oh my God, the Drake story is wild.
I don't know what's happening with
I
the
will
Drake
tell
story,
you.
so you're going to have to give me all those
It's
details.
Wild. With this presidency, I'm just hoping 3 things. Bring Me Joy in 2025, Act 3 from Beyonce, Rep TV, Debut TV. I mean, people keep thinking Act 3 is coming soon. Maybe it's right.
I
Maybe
think
it
Act
is.
3 is coming in 2026.
Yeah, I don't believe it's coming next
Or
year.
maybe
but-
like end of 2025.
Right. Did y'all do any Black Friday shopping? I don't think
I did
that
for myself.
did.
Just one thing.
What'd you get?
We'll get into it.
Oh,
We'll
okay,
talk
all
about
right. I
it.
didn't know it was so exciting. We
It's
talk about
not.
it.
But
When will Gaga get a good role again? It's been so many years since A Star Is Born. Well, I mean, I'm sure she was
had a
happy
lot of
with
roles.
Harley Quinn and people like that.
the Gucci.
Yeah, the Gucci.
House of Gucci.
Yeah, these are big
Which I thought
roles.
people were too hard on. I enjoyed House of Gucci. And she was very good in it.
Yeah.
I'm scared that Dan Nigro said Chappell's album may not be out by next year.
I assume it's gotta be.
She is putting out an album
It's
in
got to
2025,
be.
guys.
Let's strike while the iron's
yeah,
hot.
we're not just gonna be like eating Good Luck Babe
no,
for over a year.
Not
like,
to, and we hate to be on the side of the evil record label, but babe, get in the studio. Good
Yeah,
luck, babe,
they're-
in the
they're gonna
studio.
be-
What else are we doing?
my mom says, anything you want to tell me? Nope. There's no news to discuss, mother.
I got to go back to my music video rabbit hole, but it was nice popping into chat for a minute. Love you. See you later. Your music video rabbit hole. Are you working on a music video? People made fun of Drake before. It's really crazy now. His ego can't read a room. 2026 should bring Act 3 for Beyonce rock era and midterms, but that's too far away. Oh,
Yeah, that's. I guess we gotta think about it.
we got to think about it.
I guess it's suspicious she didn't go on tour. Like, if you're not touring, you might as well put out part 3. I mean, did she announce the Renaissance tour? I feel like she announced the Renaissance tour like quite a while after Renaissance.
It was by now she had announced it. By this length of time, she had announced it. Did y'all see the rumor that Ari and Cynthia are doing a small concert for Wicked?
They're
on
no,
Broadway?
absolutely not doing that.
I mean, if they could, if they wanted to.
They don't want to. Get out of here.
I don't foresee it.
I don't foresee
I don't
it.
foresee
We
it.
don't need a new cabaret movie. I mean, Gaga as Sally Bowles would be the obvious choice. Like, she would be fantastic.
Right.
I disagree. Let artists take their time. Chappell had a chaotic year, and she should rest before going into the studio. I mean, she's
in the studio.
studio.
She's putting out
in the
songs.
studio.
She sang a new song on SNL.
Yeah, she's in the studio.
Yeah.
I cannot believe Eras tour is ending already. I'm curious to see what Taylor will do on her
Drop albums. So like get those coins ready if you want to make, Rep TV clock or whatever. Save up, babes.
I need to know if you think Debut or Reputation will be released closing nights of Eras tour.
No.
Okay, I guess not.
I could see her announcing the dates.
Oh, that's what I.
Yeah, I don't believe they will like show up on our Spotify
Yeah.
randomly.
Eras tour is ending next week. Any thoughts on she release? Yeah, she'll release.
She'll release them all.
We
But
need a Spring Awakening movie. That would be fun.
I only saw Spring Awakening on Broadway once, and I was like, hated it.
That's crazy. Spring Awakening. I remember Spring Awakening was like a formative moment for me when I saw it in previews on Broadway. And I was just like, wow, like I'm seeing a new work on Broadway. This must be what people felt when they saw The King and I for the first time. Like, wow, I'm witnessing history. If we're following a halftime show pattern, then she's going to announce the tour.
I could see her announcing, as after that Netflix halftime. I could see that. Top movies of the year so far. Mine's The Substance.
The Substance is a great fucking time.
I mean, mine is between Inside Out 2 and Wicked.
Right now it's Thelma with Dune 2 as a close second. Dune 2's fucking
Did you see Inside Out 2?
Not yet. I've never seen the first Inside Out. Dee Dee might be my third. I loved Dee Dee. Yeah.
I saw a movie that I don't think is in that conversation, but I enjoyed that we can talk about during the show.
Great. Need Next to Normal movie with Toni Collette.
I don't know if she can sing, but
yes, she can.
Can she?
Yes.
What was she singing
She's
in?
been in musicals.
Okay.
On Broadway.
Okay.
She's Toni Collette. She can do anything. Toni Collette's also my pick for a gypsy movie as Mama Rose. I think she'd be great in that.
I mean, she's great in everything.
Yeah.
She's a talent. You all know that I still want my Mariah Next to Normal. So
that would be kind of brilliant.
That would be amazing. So let's get the ball
Will
rolling.
she show up on time?
She'll be there when she needs to be there.
Some salt shakers might be
I know. Hey, never heard from Mira Sorvino again, did we? Actually dodged that.
Wow,
salt
that's
shaker.
rude. As someone who was taken down by Harvey Weinstein, that's
Oh, is that what happened to her?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
like Harvey Weinstein, like totally like killed her career. It came out in like the Me Too movement.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I didn't know
sad.
that. That's sad.
Mira
Yeah.
Sorvino's a talent, Academy
She
Award
is.
winning.
She is, but just don't feud with Mariah.
Okay,
All right, that's just a lesson
Mariah
we can learn.
Did show up late.
She did, but let's not yell at a superstar that's going through the glitter era. Okay, let's be kind.
Okay,
let's lead with kindness.
Lead with kindness.
Lead with kindness. Good evening, big men. Oh, that's us.
Man.
Oh, that's
Thank
us.
you.
Never been bigger. That show gave us the evil Leah Michelle. What? Spring Awakening.
Excuse me, Ragtime gave
I was
us
gonna
the
say.
evil Leah Michelle. Okay. I was there, 1998 Tony Awards, looking at her being like, that's the role I want to play.
Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter as Elle in the Legally Blonde movie musical.
She'd be great.
Yeah.
She'd be great. She could do it.
I saw her sing that little clip from Wicked. She sang, the battle cry or whatever on TikTok or something. I was like, oh, wow.
Just the battle cry?
Yes. And I was like, oh, wow. She's got a voice
so
on her.
funny.
Yeah.
Sing the whole song
Nope, that's all
and
she
then
got.
sustain the voice to be able to do the battle cry. That is what's impressive.
Palmer, get a grip. Your headlamp for sure. Thank you. I'll take that.
Justice for Mira.
Yeah. And yes, and the Me Too of it all, absolutely justice for Mira.
Matt Palmer
Oh,
supports
come
Harvey
on,
Weinstein.
Grace.
Confirmed. Wow.
That is not what I said.
It all comes out.
Look at this. The rumors start here with the people spreading falsehoods.
Wow.
Misinformation is afoot.
Wow. I mean, it's just kind of awkward.
Is it awkward?
Y'all hear Biden pardon his son?
Oh,
Fuck
God. I was really excited to not talk about that. So let's continue not talking about it.
I'm thrilled.
Okay. I don't know. Anyways, what else is going on? I'm excited to talk about a lot of shit this week.
I know.
I am really excited to talk because I have so many feelings about this Vanderpump thing. Did you see what happened?
No.
I mean, I'll just wait to tell you on the podcast.
I'm sure I won't give a fuck.
It's as big of news as it could be about the show.
Okay. Is it like
I can't tell you.
scandal?
I'm not answering. It's
right.
different than that. It's different than that.
Okay. Have you heard the new Kesha song?
No.
Is it good? We love Joyride.
We love Joyride.
Sabrina doesn't have the vocal. I think she could. Put her in the studio.
Watch her sing that battle cry. I'm telling you, she sounds real good. I was like,
all right.
And that one time she was singing Jasmine Sullivan, she sounded real good. It just seems like the style she's choosing to go with for her music is not like big belty, but I feel like she can probably do it.
She doesn't have to do
Yeah,
that.
and she has to sing that so much better belt one time. They didn't even put a couple takes together.
One time in the studio.
Yes,
Yeah.
This is not going to be like we're going to be singing it live on set. That kind of move. Ooh.
Oh my God, the earth is crumbling.
Christmas is canceled.
Christmas is canceled. Oh God.
Oh my God. I was like, the other park in the fall too. We'll see. I thought I had good electrical tape.
If these lights fall in the middle of our fucking show.
I know, it'll be everything. I feel like she would bring that L sarcasm through. Her voice has gotten better since Mean Girls. Yeah.
I mean, get Sabrina or Dove.
Yeah, I want that girl just because I want her to have a moment. People always talk about her, and then she feels like bridesmaid, never the bride.
Wait, what girl?
Dove.
Oh, Dove. Yeah.
Yeah. I want her to have that. I'm so sad about VPR, especially as someone who's been watching since day one. Yeah, now we'll discuss that.
Oh, so it's like ending.
We'll talk about it.
I'm sorry.
He says with a giant Cheshire cat smile. Why are you like when things have
it's like, oh, that's awkward.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Oh, no. Does this mean no, like 2 gay minutes about Vanderpump Rules?
Don't worry. All the other housewives are still here.
Okay. Well, also, Big Brother has been renewed. So.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that because Big Brother Canada has not.
I know. Not. There was like a rumor that like they were bringing Big Brother Canada back. And I'm like, it was just canceled. Like, what do you mean they're bringing it?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm trying to get through season 11 of Big Brother Canada.
Is it bad?
Snooze. Ooh, it's rough. I mean, granted, I also had a very busy 2 weeks,
yeah.
so I couldn't really get invested.
Right.
But Steele, did you audition for Wicked? I did. I put myself on tape. Here's my theory. My theory is they had Ethan Slater in line, essentially, and John Chu was like, you know, I like this curly red hair thing. I want all the Munchkins to have curly red hair. Casting. Just put every curly redhead you can find on tape doing a Bach something,
right?
In case like we need more Munchkins or like Ethan Slater needs a stand-in,
right?
Or Ethan Slater somehow falls through. So that's why I feel like I somehow, because Lord knows I didn't get it on my credits.
Hey, whatever it was.
I'm not a big enough person to get that Wicked audition. So that's why I think I got it.
I can't believe I didn't get an audition for Alphabet though. When you think about it, it's kind of crazy.
It's kind of nuts.
It's kind of nuts.
I know.
Like, what about
you? Got to talk to your agent.
I do have to talk to my agent. I know. Why are they not submitting me? Got buccal fat surgery, so she looks older than the role she wants. No shade. Oh, I haven't seen her. Seal, did you hear that Tucker and Rubina are dating?
I see all their pictures on the timeline. I see them. They're all together having fun. They're a cute couple. I like them.
Great.
Yeah.
New Catcher song, okay, not as wacky or out there as Joyride, kind of like a more mature version of Thinking About You from Warrior. I'm like, is Thinking About You? There's a song on Warrior that I'm like, this is really great and should have been a single, and I don't remember what it was. Okay. They don't revisit Warrior a lot.
I don't either. That's like one Kesha album I don't really. I guess I should. I mean, I don't
know
stuff I like.
And
on
in
it.
fairness, I don't think she loves that album, and so maybe she's. I'm gonna look.
Is Party at a Rich Dude's House on that album?
No, it's on the first
That's
one.
That's a great song.
That is a great song.
I love that song.
I also loved Only Want to Dance with You. That's on Warrior.
Oh, that's it.
I think Thinking of You is the song that I really liked.
Well, Justice for Thinking of You.
Yeah, Justice for Thinking of You.
Wait, you really auditioned for Bach? I did. I got an audition for Bach. It wasn't a big deal. Like they were just like, record yourself singing, I've got something to confess, let's dance. And then the March of the Witch Hunters. And then like they gave me 2 scenes to read that were literally just like, it wasn't even like scenes from the shooting script. It was like scenes from the musical.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But still, I spent like 3 days making it and like making sure the hair was
right.
perfect.
Of course.
Yeah, this was 2021.
Wow.
2021 maybe.
They've been casting this shit for a while.
I mean, they filmed it all throughout 2022. Like, I would have had to move to England for like a year or almost a year, whatever, in 2022. I know we wouldn't have been able to record our Renaissance reaction.
I know, right?
So good thing I didn't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everyone knows our Renaissance reaction is where it's at.
It is where it's at.
Fuck Wicked. It's all about 2Gay Mads.
Hey, I'm all about it. Shop 2gaymats.com to get your merch.
Get your merch.
I'm not wearing it, but I've been wearing it a lot.
Yeah.
Happy December. Just started listening to my Christmas playlist today. Last Christmas is a classic. Did you watch the My Crazy Beautiful Life episode where she makes Warrior? Very clear from the footage that her artistic vision was really stifled and did not come out the way she wanted to. No, I didn't know that. Thinking of You is so good. Warrior has a few random underrated tracks. Yeah, I think that is. Ooh, your hair looks much better than Ethan's.
No. Oh no.
Oh no.
They're both beautiful. They're different.
But that's the
different
thing.
texture.
If you had gotten it, then would Ariana?
I would
be married.
I would be dating Ariana Grande.
I don't know if that's how it would have ended.
No, that would happen. If she was like, hey, you want to marry me? I'd be like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it, girl.
Why you're like really open to marrying a woman and like need
I'm
to
not
check on
open to marrying a woman. I'm open to marrying Ariana Grande.
Right, but not open to marrying Jonathan Bailey, who's a gay
I'm
man.
open to marrying Jonathan Bailey.
You said you'd have to see.
Well, Ariana Grande has more power than Jonathan Bailey.
Is that all you're marrying for? Power?
Yes. At this age, girl, I
Shouldn't
need
you
a
marry-
house to sleep in.
Shouldn't you marry for love? You got an
Man,
apartment.
I can
Apartment's
learn to
cute.
love anyone, okay? I get along. I've learned I get along with anyone. So,
So you just can marry anybody. That's so funny. Steel Be Serious, you have amazing hair.
Thank you.
Oh, that's nice. Matt P, where's your shirt from? It looks comfortable. It is from, I think I got it from Top Man, and it's technically Jackson's shirt, but I bought it for Jackson. So,
because you wanted to share it.
well, I more thought, oh, he's going to look good in this, but then I was like, wait, I look good in that.
Yeah.
And so now I do steal it a good bit.
That's the great thing about being gay and having a boyfriend who's like a same size,
Yes,
similar size
it's
as
like-
you. Like my ex-boyfriend from college, like he was taller than me, but he wore things a little more baggy. No, he wore he had a look that somehow like fit me in a different way, but it still looked like just as good on me as it did him.
Great.
So like it was fun having to like share clothes.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I wore my We Love Everyone t-shirt and ending it up selling it off my bag. So now someone in Kenya is wearing your merch. Wait,
what is that story?
how did that happen?
How are they in Kenya?
And I hope you can buy another one.
I know. Mariah beat down Mira Sorvino after she hit her.
No, Mira did move out of the way. It didn't hit Mira Sorvino, the salt shaker.
Yeah, and it was Mariah throwing the salt shaker.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought we all knew. Well, there goes your partnership with ASOS. I'm trying to buy a little less ASOS, even though like it seems like so.
Oh,
The lights are falling. Christmas is canceled, y'all.
Oh, no.
I feel like not like everything is fast fashion, but I'm trying to find things that are less fast fashiony than
we want
ASOS.
slow fashion.
Like I've been getting things from Quince, but then I Googled like, is Quince good? And they were like, we don't know. And I was like, oh
God,
they say they're good. I just want, why can't everything be peaceful and
just
happy?
go to the store.
Well, the store's bad too. But it depends on the stores. The stores are bad too.
Just make your own clothes, make your own textiles.
It feels like that's the solution. And I'm not doing that. I don't have that skill set.
What if you discovered you're actually good at it, and then you can like be on Project Runway?
That would be amazing. Tangerine, who stole it and how, what in the world?
They didn't steal it.
No,
Sandra
sold it. What do we love?
To someone in Kenya.
An entrepreneur.
We love
Beyonce on that episode of Punk'd. I just remember, that is when the tree fell. I remember that Beyonce was on an episode of Punk'd, and I think she was
had to do a tree lighting.
It was like a tree lighting, and the tree fell. And her reaction was so funny because she was just like, I know this is fake. Like, I know I'm being punked.
Ashton, where are you?
Ashton, where? She's just like, not.
Yeah.
It's great.
It wasn't like the Justin Timberlake.
That is exactly what I was going to say.
It was like, Ashton got him good.
I mean, it also was like early on in the Punk'd run, so it was less of a thing. But
I truly, when Punk'd was on, I didn't give a fuck about, like, I would watch it and I was like, who wants to see, who cares? Like, I don't understand why we care about like these celebrities like getting punked and everything. But as time has gone on, I'm just like, oh, that's a brilliant idea for a TV show. Like,
I was at a party and a friend from Kenya wanted it, and since she's my new boss, new boss, yes, buying another one. Oh, good.
I love that.
I love that so much. I love that people love it's also like when this kind of interaction happens, do you tell them, by the way, this isn't as nice as it looks? Like, we're being rude.
You're wearing a shady shirt.
You're wearing a shady shirt, and you don't know, and that's okay.
Do you think Wicked could win Best Picture? I think there's a world.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely. Especially after like this year, after the election, like I could see industry people being like, we want to vote for something that is both big and critically acclaimed and was successful and is like somewhat, unfortunately, culturally relevant. Like,
oh yeah. Palmer, did you finish the current season of Love is Blind? What are your thoughts on Tyler's sperm baby V situation, all the tea that was spilled by him by the baby mama? I was still a bit confused. I did finish the season. I also Googled and couldn't find exactly what the drama was with him. I know that the baby mama was like, no, it was more than that. He's involved in the children's lives, but it seems like I don't know. It seems like, at least from what Tyler's saying, and I'm choosing to believe him, he's like, well, this lesbian couple, they were raising these 2 kids, and then they got divorced, and so just my friend is the parent of these kids, and I grew up in a single mom home, and so I want to be there to help. I don't think that's that bad. It also seems like his now wife knew that. I don't know. I still liked Tyler by the end of that reunion, and I didn't fully get why all y'all were like, oof, watch out. I mean, there were some oof, watch out, but
It's definitely oof, watch out.
yeah, but not. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm naive.
No,
Me?
you're just hopeful.
I'm hopeful.
You're optimistic.
Yes, I'm a glass half full person.
It's good to look to the future
And
with
you're-
optimism, even though I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Come on.
I'm trying to be involved here.
And the Wicked movie is something that made so many people happy.
Yeah, it's a very satisfying.
It is.
Movie in that regard, so I could see, especially like in a ranked choice voting.
All right.
I could see though I could also see the buzz for Wicked crashing.
Oh, sorry.
in the
The
Oscars.
twins were made the natural way? So he had sex with the... So is she a lesbian? Were they enjoying... Okay. I have follow-up questions, but this isn't the time. Matt still doesn't know what we're talking about. But that is a surprise. That's a surprise.
Hey,
That's a surprise. Oh, yay. 2 game Matt's in...
how do you say that? Mati Mabili za Mashoga.
I love that.
Someone screenshot that and send it to us so we can practice.
I won't be here next week because I'll be at the Air Store. Okay, have a great
fun.
time.
I agree. The Tyler situation seems
Seems
complicated,
right?
But not outright.
I thought the way you guys made it sound before, I was like, oh, he's a monster, and I did not get that feeling from when I watched the episode. Should we jump into the podcast?
Please.
All right, let's do it. Ooh. I have hot corner, so go back to the top right. There you go. You know I love a hot corner.
I've never heard of that.
You never heard of hot corners?
No, what is that?
It's basically, well, guys, I got a new Mac, and Matt Steele is in charge of turning on the video recording on said Mac, and he went to the top right of the MacBook, and that's when you can decide, like, if I go to the top left, my screensaver will start. If I go to the bottom right, like, oh, you get to see the desktop. Or the top right, you got to see the desktop. So that, like, moved the window out of the way.
Sometimes that happens to me. My thing flies away, and I'm like, I don't want that.
Oh, you
And
can
so
turn
I
that
have
off
to
if you want me to tell you how to turn it off.
Teach me how, girl. You know what else I also learned?
What'd you learn?
That... You know when you right click and you see to like copy something or whatever, and like there's cut.
Yeah.
That when you hit cut, it also copies.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I thought cut literally just meant delete.
No.
When I was with my friend Cecilia, and she like laughed at me for this, and I was like, "Girl, this is not explained in like school. I always when I want to copy and paste something, I just hit copy,
Right.
and then I delete that,
Right.
and then I hit paste.
Oh, well, cut will do all of that.
Yeah, That's too complicated. Cut to me just means delete. This is a computer lesson.
So when we're
episode.
talking about like why I make all the TikToks, just remember this.
Remember
that.
this.
You just learned what cut meant.
Yes.
All right. I'll throw on an ad. Some of you will get an ad. Some of you won't. We love you both.
But we love one more.
We love you. If you get an ad, we love you.
And
the
you'll
most.
never know who it is.
I just entered the stream too. The twins were made the natural way. That's funny.
All my friends aren't Oscar people and think that it has to win everything. But when I bring up wanting Anora to win, I get vilified. Stand your ground. Anora's great.
I heard Honora's good. I'm interested in seeing that.
You would enjoy it.
I feel like I
think
would
you
like
would find Anora like very entertaining.
I feel like I'd like that. I just got the most amazing sparkly pastel pink blazer to wear. I'm so excited.
Yes, for the Eras tour.
It seems like a very legally
Because
blonde.
Moop, you're the one who was going to the Eras tour next week,
I
right?
think yes.
Okay.
Oh, we got an ad.
Oh, we got an ad.
We got an ad. We love when we get an ad. All right, we can skip that ad. All right.
Okay.
Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Two Gay Mats podcast. It is Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And we're coming at you 2 weeks
Since our last
podcast.
Yes.
Because our most recent podcast just
Yes.
ended up being a show.
It was a
It
show.
ended up being a piece of theater that is lost to time and
Yes.
space and history because
Hey.
we did our live holiday show at the Lyric Hyperion last Saturday, and we were recording that audio, and it turned out the audio did not record
It
like how
didn't.
we wanted it to.
Well, the thing is, my audio recorded
Yes.
and the audience mic audio recorded, but Matt Steele's audio did not.
But who gives a shit about Matt Steele? You know, you should have just released the you audio and the audience audio because the audience is really what matters.
They
you know?
are what matters.
The
but
laughter, the joy.
I think it would be odd for people just to hear me being like, ah!
You can't like hear me a little bit like in the distance.
You hear you like you're a ghost in the back of the theater.
Oh, I kind of love that. It's a ghost, like how the show is a ghost now because it technically doesn't exist anymore, only in people's memories.
And so since this happened, I hope you all know the next time we have a live show, the only way to be sure you see and or hear it is by attending. So
exactly. Who? Dr. Woods.
Yes.
Flew from Michigan. Grace came down from Seattle because they knew this thing may not be permanent.
Sandra, Jen, they all knew.
Sandra, Jen, they all knew.
They knew.
And so they like made the time to
Jimmy.
come.
Sorry, I'm just thinking if people came.
Yes, so many people came.
Yes.
And because they knew like this may not be something I can re-listen to, so they got to experience it in person.
Absolutely.
And I think that's beautiful for them.
I think, I'm going to announce, not even announce, but like I'm going to manifest my goal for next year. I want a New York show.
Oh, I want a New York show.
I want a New York
bad.
show. I feel like there's got to be a way that we find a venue that could house us because it just is so much fun to do. And I feel like we have many people on the East Coast that like New York is accessible to them, and it would be great to, perform for them. We sang a little song. We sang "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas," me as Christina Aguilera and Matt Steele as Judy Garland, and that was quite the moment.
Yeah.
And so we now are thinking of all these songs that we could do, and I'm like, is there a world in which we do "What Is This Feeling"?
There absolutely is. There's a world in which we do "For Good."
Oh, absolutely.
There's so many duets just from Wicked alone.
I know
that we can do "As Long as You're Mine." I think that'd be cute.
It's fine, but I should be the girls.
Oh, but I just want to say, like, I feel wicked. Spoiler alert, I guess, for those who don't know the show or whatever. But yeah, so that was what we did last week.
Yes.
Pretty much like doing and it's so interesting doing like a show a second time because
Yeah.
you're always going to compare it to the first one.
Yes.
But I think this one was nice in like a different way. Like
Yes.
Palmer and I had talked about it. It was like there were things that maybe we liked a little better in the first show, but things in the second show we liked better. So
Right.
it's like we realized you can't compare.
Every show is
Every
different.
show is special. It's like a snowflake.
It's very snowflake.
Yes.
As I love that we had like a little trivia round that was very fun this time around, and obviously the song went over great. So a lot of positive things.
Oh, and Janie's email, my heart question, was scandalous.
That's the thing. Just so you know, even if the audio had been recorded perfectly, you would have never heard the question nor answer to Janie's question.
Yeah, our friend Janie asked a question from the audience. That
Yes.
microphone was one of the ones that was working.
Yes.
And she essentially said, what is something you can reveal to us in private, and you can cut this out of the podcast, but that you are too afraid to reveal? Like, what's an opinion that you're too afraid to reveal on the podcast? And ooh, they were juicy. My favorite part of the show was our friend Nick was in the audience, and Nick is a little... he likes a scandalous moment. He's also a podcaster. He hosts a Big Brother podcast called But First, a Big Brother podcast. And he loves an opinion. And I just heard him after I said my opinion, and everyone in the audience was like, I just heard his little voice growl, yes. Yes, we're getting some bitchiness.
Yeah, and maybe it was like, maybe next time we do these live shows, there should be one segment of our
No,
unpopular
some motherfucker's going to be there camera
and
ready.
The thing is, as soon as that happens, it's all canceled.
Oh.
We have to all be together. It's like, if you want to hear the tea, you got to keep it to yourself, okay?
Yeah. Cell phones will be checked at the door.
No, because we want the content.
That is true. That is what a dilemma we are in.
I know, such a dilemma.
I know, but what did you do this week? It was also Thanksgiving.
It was also Thanksgiving, and so I celebrated that. Wednesday night after I was done with my work week, I made a sweet potato pie, my mom's recipe, and that was really lovely. And then I also made the dressing, which is an hours-long process of making the cornbread, crumbling said cornbread, cutting up chicken thighs, putting in vegetables. Like, the dressing is quite the moment. It is, again, my favorite food. And I had to have, of course, eat it with the canned cranberry sauce with the lines from the can. You got to cut it up a certain way, and that mixes in with the dressing. And so we felt like, okay, I'm prepping just a little bit. I'm not doing a full Friendsgiving situation. Like, we had just done a live show. I couldn't do the entire meal, but I just needed the parts that made it feel a little bit like home. But I was very kind. Jackson's family, we went over to his house, and so we were able to have our Thanksgiving there. I brought my Georgia peaches over with the pie and the dressing, and had that, and so that was lovely. And then what else did I do that weekend? Hung out with Joe and Tim last night. It honestly has been a lot of resting and recharging because there was a lot of build up to the live show.
Yeah.
It's hard doing 2 game mats while having full-time jobs. It's not an easy thing. So it was a lot of lying about. And then obviously we put up some Christmas lights throughout the home, throughout our
look
apartment.
beautiful. He put up lights in his office where we are at right now,
I
and they are
know.
currently falling apart. as we have been doing this live stream.
It's true. It's true. And so maybe they need to be a little reinforced. But the holiday spirit is what counts. And that's with us at all times. Well, with me at all times. Not over here.
If you hear like a sudden like thud, it means that the lights have finally fallen.
Thud is strong, I feel. Like these are light.
The earthquakes.
These are mini little bulbs that you put on a tree. You're not going to hear a thud. Matt Steele.
Yes.
How was your week?
My week was very good. See, not only was I, prepping for the live show, also working my job, not full time, but
Yes.
I'm on my feet the entire time. But I was also 2 weeks in a row hosting friends from out of town. The first week, the week of the show, my very good friend Cecilia was in town, and so did a lot of things with her. She came and she saw the live show because she also somehow knew that it would be lost with time.
Exactly.
And then after she left, immediately my friend Fernando flew into town from Texas, and it's his birthday's the 26th, so he loves being with his friends like on his birthday. Also, it's very close to Thanksgiving, so he loves Thanksgiving. So I hosted.
Look at you.
Thanks fucking giving. And if
you
know anything about me, I do not like hosting anything.
Why?
Like, my apartment looks nice because it's all to myself. I don't want anyone else in there. And so, but I still did it.
So brave.
I'm very brave.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, no one cooked for this Thanksgiving. It was just like our group of friends. All came over. There were 8 of us, and no one cooked except for our friend Augie, who made the mac and cheese. We had it catered from Whole Foods, which was surprisingly cheap. It was only like $35 per person.
That's not bad at all.
Which is like way cheaper than I thought it would be.
Especially for Whole Foods.
Yes.
They shake you down.
Foods. Yes, and it said that it served 4, and so we were kind of like, well, there'll be enough food for 8. There was more than enough.
Wow.
Food. Like, I'm still eating those leftovers because, they're all gay. So they're like, I can't possibly take anything home with me. Here, Matt still will eat it. He's a fat piece of shit.
Well,
and I am, because I'm currently still eating everything.
I'm glad. As you should. I'm going to have some leftovers after this podcast is done recording.
Good for us.
I think it's only right.
Yeah. So it was a very, very fun, Thanksgiving. And it was good because it's been a long time since my friend Fernando has been in town with Matt Bridges, who, moved away to San Mateo for a little while and just moved back.
Yes!
So it's nice to have like the group all back together, like all at once again,
Yes.
because we haven't really had that since like 2021.
Wow.
So that was really, really great.
I love that Matt Bridges is back.
I know.
What great news. Welcome back.
I know.
Good news.
He's back.
Yes. So I love that for you. I think that's a lovely Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
time.
it was a nice time.
Yes.
It was a good time.
Should we jump into the news radiance?
We got a lot of news.
There's
guys.
some news. There is
Yes.
some news that we need to go through. It's some news that affects me personally.
Yes.
So we'll get to that second. First, I feel like we're just going to have Wicked updates every week.
It's literally the Wicked show. Like,
It is
we
the
are
Wicked
just
show.
talking Wicked. For those of you who weren't at the live show, we also talked about Wicked a lot.
It was
as
our
well.
top story 2 weeks in a
It's
row.
so massive.
It's huge.
It's huge.
First weekend, it made $114 million. And then this second weekend, it made another what? Let me see, $117 million over the past 2 days. It has become, and domestically, the biggest stage to screen adaptation ever. Outdoing Grease, even,
which was made in '78,
which
guys.
is wild. And I think globally there are maybe 4 musical films that are above it for now. But again, it's been 2 weeks. Yeah. This is the movie.
Wicked will be the one for good.
Absolutely.
and hold that title.
We knew it was going to be massive, but the fact that it's also so incredible makes the massivity, I bet it's even bigger than it would have been if this movie was just okay, because people want to see this film multiple times.
Yeah.
And the word of mouth is incredible. So I just love seeing a musical film of this caliber make all this money and be such a success.
Well,
and
I also understand it. It makes total sense. Aside from the film being great.
Yes.
And critically successful and having big stars in it, it's also Wizard of Oz property.
Yes.
So it's an intellectual property that people are just naturally interested
True.
in and want to see. But also, it's also PG. So you can see it with the whole family. It's not like a movie like people are like, oh, why wasn't West Side Story as successful? And it's because it was 2021, people weren't going to see movies in theaters as much as they are this year, which is fantastic. But also because it wasn't PG.
Yeah.
You know, like you can take a family of like 5, 6, take the neighbors. Like it's great for so many ages. And it was very smart of them to do that. You know,
Right.
while there were like parts of the Wicked movie where I was like, ooh, this could be a little darker,
Right.
a little edgier, a little scarier. But then I was like, oh no, but that would probably make it PG-13.
Exactly.
And
we can't have that.
We can't have that. We need to make our money back.
Exactly.
So I mean, it proves that there is it is lucrative to, if you can, making your film PG.
Yes.
So
I hope
good on them.
this
Good on
leads-
Mark Platt. Look at him. He knows
Mark,
what he's doing.
He really does, doesn't
does.
he?
Yeah.
I hope this leads to more musical films that are
I
incredible.
know,
That would
I
be.
know.
I hope that's the lesson. Because again, you have a film like Barbie that does incredibly well. They're like, oh, maybe more female directors and like more female-led films. Like, we need more toy movies. So who knows what they're really going to take from this?
Sure.
But I'm hopeful that it's going to be more musicals taking to the movie theaters. Also, Moana 2 set a 5-day Thanksgiving weekend record at the box office with $221 million. It absolutely dominates the previous record holder of Frozen 2's $125 million haul as far as like the biggest Thanksgiving 5-day weekend, amount ever. And that's incredible. I think, I've not seen Moana 2. I've read some reviews. The thing is, I hear that it's gorgeous. I hear that the story is, fine. And I hear the songs are bad. And so that's upsetting. To me, it's like, why? I don't know. I get that like they are moving. That this Moana 2 was initially going to be a Disney Plus series. And then they were like, okay, we're Disney and we're not having the best year. Marvel's not doing what it used to do. We need to make a bunch of fucking money. Let's just package this up and make it a sequel. And clearly it's working for them. And the bottom line. But like, you see Inside Out 2, and that is a feat. Like, that is something that, like, yes, it's a sequel, but like every dollar and cent like was earned in its quality. And like, again, I haven't seen Moana 2, but I enjoyed the first Moana, and I feel like on the strength of that movie, and it's now become for kids these days, like Moana is like up there with Frozen as like these songs our child wants to hear all the live long fucking day. And so it just is a little disappointing that, especially that the songs supposedly aren't great. Maybe I'll listen to them and have a different opinion, but I'm glad it's doing well. We always love when theaters do well.
And I think it's fantastic that like it's two like movies for families that are doing well at the same time. Like you would think like, oh, families will see one over the other, whatever. But it's like, oh no, they're both so successful that they're shattering records. Along with like Gladiator 2, like being a huge box office success. Like I believe this is like the most successful Thanksgiving like week box office wise.
I believe that's
almost ever.
Right.
And from what I've seen.
That sounds right. And Gladiator 2, yes, I believe it has so far made $12 million domestically and $320 million worldwide. So I think internationally it's doing very, very well.
I mean, I just think it's wonderful that movies are doing so well, especially like, remember in like 2021 when people are like, no one's ever going to go to the movie theater ever again. And it's like, ha ha, y'all were wrong, because people want to go see movies. And I'm glad that like these movies for kids that are good, like are doing so well, because like that's where kids fall in love with movies. Like I'm happy that parents are taking, not just like plopping their kid down in front of like a cell phone, and actually taking their kids to the cinema to see Wicked Part 1 and Moana Part 2 and what have you. Maybe also seeing Gladiator Part 2. You don't need sneaking their kids in there.
Don't sneak your kids into Gladiator 2.
There are people who are doing it at like 11 p.m. showings. I've seen people.
I don't know if that's the best idea though. I can't suggest that one does that.
I remember like when I would like be in Vegas in the summertime, and me and my dad and my brother would see, because my dad used to live in Vegas, we used to visit him every summer. Me and my dad and my brother would see like movies at like 9 o'clock, and like rated R movies, like PG-13 movies, like American Pie, and like there would be like parents like dragging in a stroller
to American Pie.
Like the scary movies. And I remember being a kid and being like, that's weird. But now that I'm like an actual adult, being like, what the fuck is going on?
No, that's wild. That is a wild choice, and not one that, and we're not parents, but if we were, we wouldn't bring our kids.
Those parents are just supporting cinema. And
I realize, paying for childcare is expensive, and so I appreciate that, but you don't have to see American Pie. Not right now, do you?
I guess they did. It was a big hit.
Well, from Ariana Grande to Ariana Madix, we need to talk about Vanderpump Rules.
This is apparently big news, and I know nothing about it, so Matt Palmer's going to explain this to me now.
It was announced on Wednesday via Us magazine that Bravo has, I don't know the nice way to say this.
Say it.
Has fired the entire cast of Vanderpump Rules besides Lisa Vanderpump. They're doing a full reboot. They are finding different servers that actually work at the restaurant these days. Because
they're finding people who are actually relevant to the premise of the show. Great.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's exciting. But guys, when I tell you I did not see this coming, like I realized that we were at an impasse because Ariana and Tom post-Scandival, like they couldn't be on the same season again. But I was like, there are cast changes one could make to make this make sense. But I think the producers were like, these people are so not moving in their relationships, and this Scandival event has just fractured the group in such a way that like the show doesn't make any sense. These people would not hang out in real life, and I don't know where we go from here. The thing is they denied this, but this is a show unlike Housewives where like a wife will get fired every year essentially.
Sure.
This show has, I want to say, 3 or 4 people that have been on since the first season. This was its 11th, I believe. And the way the contracts work is they get bumped up in salary every single year.
Yeah.
So by season 9 and 10, these OG cast members are making $1 million a year.
And if they're making $1 million a year and not delivering what the producers want, girl, fire them. Matt Palmer, let me talk to you as a friend.
Okay.
As a friend and as a Degrassi fan.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need to kill the entire cast and bring on a whole new slew of kids, and you will be scared. The first episode you see with the new kids, you'll be scared.
I'm terrified.
And you'll be like, what is this? Where's Paige? Where's Emma? Where's Manny? But then you'll realize like, oh, this was so needed. Like this, I went Degrassi from season 7 to season 8. It was a beautiful thing. And then by season 9, it was a whole new cast. And it was like people all going through like the same drama, but yet they were different characters going through it. So they like had different results. It's if you want the show to continue, it will be a refresh. We will never forget the people of the past, our forefathers who brought us here.
Yes.
But let's usher in a new class.
I hear you, and I'm open to it being good. I really am going to go in with an open mind. Things that worry me.
Yes.
They just did this with Real Housewives of New York, and it's fucking terrible.
Okay.
Like, unwatchable. Like, we're talking about, like, a cliffhanger episode is ended on, ooh, we thought of a prank, and we, like, told all the girls you are pregnant, and you're not.
Not a prank.
Not a prank. And it's like, don't insult my intelligence with this. So that makes me nervous. It also makes me nervous because in the time of Vanderpump Rules, especially it's like prime years, like when it was like really at the top of the zeitgeist in like seasons 3 through 6, and then also with 10. There have been so many other shows that are trying to recreate this formula, some on Bravo, some not. But like Southern Hospitality, which is basically Vanderpump Rules, but in the South, didn't really hook me. I did like the one that Candy had led, but that got canceled after one season. Lindsay Lohan had that like beach show where she was the boss, and like it was all about the people working there. I feel like this cast, the original 6, was truly a lightning in a bottle moment.
Sure.
And it's really going to be hard to recreate. I'm open to seeing what happens with it. And I just felt like the fact that no other, like, outside of Top Chef, no other reality show on Bravo has ever been nominated for an Emmy. And Vanderpump Rules was nominated twice.
Sure.
The second time, they didn't deserve it, but whatever. It was still nominated. It just feels like I would have the rumors before this was announced were like, they're doing a shortened season. It's going to be a couple of weeks. It's a farewell season. Okay. And that I would have been more okay with. Sure. It feels like the rug has been pulled out from under me.
It
okay.
happens.
Like, I had grown up on this show.
I know.
And it's gone.
Are there some like cast members in Vanderpump now that are like very, very minor characters, like friends of that are going to be like a part of the main cast?
No.
Like, because Degrassi, it was like the new sort of cast. It was like there would be touches of Holly J here and there, and they introduced like a couple people in season 7, and then season 8 it was those like handful of people who we already like met a little bit, and then a whole new people, like, but they're not doing it.
They tried to do that a few seasons ago, pre-Scandival. They brought in like literally 7 or 8 new cast members. So it was like a 14-person show. It was very confusing. And the plan was essentially next season we're gonna spin the OG cast off to what is now the Valley. It was gonna be like Vanderpump Valley or whatever.
And you like the Valley?
I do like the Valley. I'm concerned they're bringing some Vanderpump people in who I never need to see Lala again. Whatever. But the plan was, okay, we're going to have the Valley. We're going to take Stassi's wedding, and that'll be a transition into the Valley. And like now we're all adults, and now we'll focus on the young cast. But that didn't work because that was the season Stassi and Kristen and 2 of the new people all got fired for being racist. Mm-hmm. And then
As one does.
As one does. COVID happened.
Yeah.
It just was like, it was a real big shakeup. They were left with like such a handful of people still on this show. So these people are all new. Every single person I'll be seeing on Vanderpump Rules.
I have faith. And if it doesn't end up working, then Lisa Vanderpump hire me to be a host or something at the restaurant, and then I can integrate in there.
Remember when Laguna Beach tried to do this and had like Lauren's little...
No, I didn't watch fucking Laguna Beach.
Oh, Laguna Beach was everything. But after the Lauren-led season and then the... Kristen-led season, they tried to make another Laguna Beach. I didn't remember if it was a different show or if it was the same show, starring Lauren's little sister, who did not have it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just worried about it in a reality space because Vanderpump truly was such a moment.
I mean, I have it. If that's what they're looking for.
That's true.
Were you trying to insinuate that I don't have it?
I wasn't even talking about you at all. If that helps.
Well, you said it right after I suggested that I could be a guest.
You would be great. I'm just saying, are these kids Jax and Stassi level drama messes? And if not, then we need to keep casting. We need this to be amazing.
We need to take our time with the casting process, really get the best people. Because a thing that sometimes like reality TV does now that it was so good at in like the early 2000s was now I feel like a lot of times it casts people who have good stories like about them. It's just like, oh, this person is like, does this job and this job and this job. And on paper, they seem very eclectic.
Right.
But like on the day to day, are they really compelling people to just listen to as they speak?
Yes.
Like that's what reality TV used to be. It's just like, oh, this person is kind of just like living wherever. And I'm talking in a broader sense, like not just like Vanderpump, but like, oh, this person just seems like a normal person on paper because they have a regular job, but like they are wackadoodle. And you would put them on a reality show.
Yes.
Now it seems like people are casting on reality TV once just like on paper, oh, this person does all these things.
Right. And of course, our similar problem of like no one wants to be a villain anymore because of social media. Like the girl, like Stassi was getting run off the internet those first few seasons.
But that's why you got to do the one thing I know about Laguna Beach. Is that the brilliant thing they did was the first season they had it about Lauren, and then Kristen was the villain, and then season 2 they had the show
that was brilliant.
Kristen the hero. And I remember I didn't even watch the show because I watched the first episode and I was like, the acting is terrible because I didn't know it was a reality show. I thought it was scripted.
Right.
But I do remember them advertising season 2 on MTV, and I just remember being like, this is how you do a show.
Truly brilliant.
That
was great.
So maybe it can be in someone's contract, like if that they can have. I mean, you can't really like plan that in advance, but I don't know. I'm spouting out ideas.
It just is an end of an era, and yes, someone is mentioning that both also Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz's restaurant Schwartz and Sandy's that we went to for my birthday is closing, so that it was announced the day before it was announced that this show is being completely rebooted. So I think they're probably having a tough week. All right, if any producers on Vanderpump are watching, I don't want to see all of them on the Valley. I don't want to see everybody. Like Schwartz had filmed some with Summer House randomly, and then I think we're seeing Tom Schwartz, Sheena, and Lala on the Valley, and it's like, okay, I don't need that. Especially like you're finding the people that I actually want to see the least. Like I would rather see Katie and Ariana and like what's going on in their sandwich shop, which I still need to go to. Versus
I need to know what's going on in the sandwich shop.
I think it's still doing well. I need to go and get a sandwich. But whatever. All I'm saying is I'm nervous. I'm sad. It was a great decade of television. And you know what? When you think about it, 10, 11 years on a reality show is a long fucking time. Yes. So congratulations to everyone. And of course, Lisa Vanderpump was like, I'm still on this show.
Oh, yes.
It's called Vanderpump Rules.
Yes.
So it just is wild. It's also wild because a couple years ago, Stassi and Kristen were the two out of the job. Jax was out of the job. Now there's the Valley. They're on television. Stassi is going to be on Vanderpump Villa with Lisa Vanderpump next season and then has her own show. And it's like, so now all those people that had job security are out of the streets. Yeah. They're not on the streets. They're in their mansions at this point, which was probably part of the problem. But it's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough.
But we move on.
We
persevere.
You know who needs to move on?
Oh, no. Explain this story to me.
So Drake has taken legal action against Universal Music Group and Spotify. Universal Music Group is not only Drake's label, but also Kendrick Lamar's label.
Oh.
And he is alleging that the two companies conspired to artificially inflate the popularity of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us.
Okay. And if y'all remember earlier in the year, it was
You remember.
Some people don't.
You should.
It was like a diss track against Drake.
Against Drake, that got very, very popular, is currently nominated for Record of the Year at the Grammys. Yes. Like, Kendrick just surprise dropped an album off the back of that success that's going to debut at #1, and like the singles are all over the top 10 of the Hot 100. Like, Kendrick's gotten so big off this feud, and the fact that Drake, he couldn't even just be like, okay, I lost this feud, let me move on to something else.
Yeah.
The fact that he's going, I'm gonna sue, like, it just seems like, oh, girl, read the room. Like, we don't, like, if you just had taken your licks and, like, maybe put out something completely unrelated, we all at some point could have moved on.
What if the music label did manufacture that?
You think Drake's own label would also manufacture a diss track against him that calls him a pedophile? Like,
that's going far.
This is going very far.
Like, I feel like they would promote, like, a diss track,
right,
but, like, not something that's, like, actually scandalous.
And
like
promote is one thing, but, like, you're saying that the streams are fake. Like, God, like, there's no way around. This song is very popular with human people. Like, and this just makes you look like a sore loser of this argument, and also like a Karen. Like, if the argument against you is like you are, cosplaying as, I don't know. It just is not a good look for the arguments against Drake.
And you know what, Drake? You moved on and left Degrassi.
Yes.
And sometimes speaking of Degrassi, you just gotta move on and let the new cast come.
How many of your sentences begin with speaking of Degrassi?
Okay. The thing is, when a show goes there, it goes there, and Degrassi is so relevant to anyone's life, and that is why it is one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm glad that Drake has that, and I hope he gets to reboot this, because I don't know. I think it just looks really bad. And there was a time, I don't know if now is that time, maybe he is too powerful to ever fully be, like, irrelevant, which is probably true. But there were times when, like, I forget, was it 50 Cent versus Ja Rule? Like, when they had their beef, Ja Rule literally never had a hit again. And Ja Rule was everywhere. He had every song with Ashanti on the radio. And the fact that it ended so poorly and he lost so badly, I'm like, is that what's happening with Drake? I don't know. We're going to keep our eyes peeled.
But Drake had a good week where he was named number 4. Wasn't he number 4?
He was number 4.
On Billboard greatest
That's true.
pop stars of the 21st century.
I thought you were going to say, like, Vanderpump. Drake had a good run. He was popular for a long time.
I'm saying he had a success recently.
He did.
Number 4 is nothing to scoff at.
He should not have filed that suit. It is just a bad look. Because it's like we were truly all on the way to forgetting it a little bit.
Yeah.
And now
I always forget that drama happened.
No, people are holding on to it, and it does not make him look good. So I hope that he drops it, and he drops them. While I think in between the live show and this week, there was a rumor going around that luckily was not real. That we just need to make sure everyone knows that wasn't real. There was a rumor going around that for Wicked, Cynthia Erivo was paid $1 million and Ariana Grande was paid $15 million. And the Universal or whoever is behind this, I don't even know who gave this quote. Universal, a source has come out and said both leads got paid the same. So
that's great.
We love that.
That's wonderful.
Which kind of makes you think, is Ariana supporting? But anyways.
Great question.
Also, on more Wicked news, both Dwayne Johnson and Cynthia Erivo are saying, if you bought a ticket, you should sing in the theater.
Man.
Look.
I think it's so funny because I feel like Cynthia Erivo's people were just like, girl, be cool. After the whole,
yes.
her
After the poster
getting
thing?
upset about the poster and everything,
yes.
and some other things that have
yes.
happened. I feel like her PR people were probably just like, girl, make yourself seem lighthearted
yes.
and like things just roll off your back. But not this
not
girl.
This girl, no.
Don't encourage, like someone asked her, like, I hear people are singing in the theaters. Like, how do you feel about that? And she was just like, I think it's wonderful and people should do what was it?
Yeah, good. I'm okay with that. We spent a long time singing it ourselves. It's time for everyone else to join in. It's wonderful.
This is the one thing to not let roll off your back.
Don't let that roll off.
This is the one time you can just be grumpy and a curmudgeon.
Yes, this is where that side of you can come out because,
yes.
babe, we're with you. There are sing-along events happening this December. If you want to sing along, go to that.
Do not encourage people to sing in this movie if some people are seeing it for the first time.
And wait, you know how I do at the end of the month, we do like the Receiptify thing, which will be like, oh, look at your Spotify numbers, see what's your most played song.
What?
Wizard and I #1.
Of course it is.
But it's like, it didn't come out that long ago. Like, I feel like I
came out but it's The Wizard and I. It was probably my #1 when the cast recording came out in 2003.
It's just, God, what a performance. I'll never get over it. She just can sing her face off and I appreciate it. And speaking of that Billboard list, Taylor Swift comes in at number 2.
Nothing to scoff at.
Nothing to scoff at. Number 2
very deserved.
is a very deserved placement for her. And number 2 is not bad. People are not
number 2 is
number 1 at everything.
Incredible.
Yes. Greatest pop stars of the 21st century. If I were number 2, I'd be thrilled.
You're a literal legend. The legend status has been cemented. Do not worry, folks. Also, these ranks aren't real.
Right. None of this is real.
None of this is real.
But I would like to say.
But we would say.
Someone at Billboard watched our video.
Because
the
2 gay mats were correct.
We were correct.
I mean, it hasn't been officially announced.
Could you imagine if it wasn't Beyonce at number 1?
It
would kind of be hilarious.
The thing is, like, we're all laughing at the Taylor Swift stands who are freaking out about Taylor only being number 2, and we're just like, oh my God, guys, calm down. But if Beyonce's
not on the list, if she's not in the top,
it's impossible.
It's impossible.
Like, she's obviously going to be number 1, and that is very, very deserved.
Yes.
I just think it's funny how, like, the people who are very angry about Taylor Swift only being number 2 is like they're literally sharing stats like most records sold, this, most number 1, this, number 1, that, and everything. And it's like, yes, those are stats that are very impressive.
Yes.
Very impressive and very influential and everything. But the category is best pop star 21st century.
Right.
First of all, Beyonce's been around for longer.
Yes. So she has like
she has
7-8 years ahead of
practically
of
9 if we're talking about Destiny's Child.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Practically, yeah, if we're like going back into the 1900s, which we
you should
are.
say the 90s.
I love referring to it as the 1900s.
It just feels so long ago.
It was, girl.
Oh God.
Sorry, but it was. But so yeah, there's that. But also, like, we're talking the way you push things forward sonically and everything, and yeah, Taylor has like the stats right now,
right?
But the impact that Beyonce has had is, you can't really compare it to anything. It's like, yes, the impact that Taylor has had with like her music as well, and the marketing especially. Like, that is why she is so big.
And an incredible songwriter.
An incredible songwriter and everything. But just in terms of like a pop star, the impact,
pushing the envelope,
not just business wise, but also artistically.
Yeah.
It's a deserved number 1 spot. And the thing is, if Taylor had been named number 1, I would have been like, good for her.
Exactly.
You know, I would not have been shocked and everything. But I am happy with this outcome.
Absolutely.
I mean, the only thing I'm furious at is Britney at number 6.
I know.
How dare.
Right. I mean, Drake at number 4 is
How dare Britney be so low?
Drake at number 4 is a little weird to me.
Sure.
Because when did he debut? He debuted in 2009 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just is a little weird to me. He was massive for a very long time.
Yeah, Britney to me should be 3 or 2.
I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, again, these things aren't real.
These things aren't real.
These things don't affect you.
Margot Robbie still doesn't understand why people hated Babylon.
I mean, she's right. When you're right, you're right. She's absolutely correct. That people will realize the brilliant masterpiece that it is years down the road, and I will be sitting here with Margot Robbie because she will have replaced Matt Palmer on 2 Gay Mats. I don't know. I just pictured it in my head.
Yes.
And we'll be saying, "Fuck everyone. We all told you so."
Well, I hope she'll be a great guest co-host for you, because if you want my opinion on that movie, I wouldn't want to give it in front of Margot. But I can tell her if she wants to know why people hate it. I can explain that to her.
And we can both explain to you why you're incorrect.
Great. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you and Margot agree that it was good, and we'll see what else.
Good. A masterpiece. The best movie of the 2020s.
I hope Damien gets someone to fund his films. That's what I hope.
I got a little money in savings. I will throw it your way.
Nick Cannon is talking about his narcissistic personality disorder diagnosis. He has been officially diagnosed and was talking about it and opened up to people about it. And to that I say, I think it's good that he is addressing this issue. I feel like, from an outsider looking in, his actions always raised some questions when he was with Mariah and how publicly he would talk about that relationship. And then, of course, after Mariah, when he, continued to procreate in such a way, in such a speed, and so many partners. But maybe this is tied into that. I don't know. I just think it's good to take responsibility. It's like, okay, this is my diagnosis, and like I hope he manages it, and maybe he will help other people who have been, have similar diagnoses.
And it's nice to know that like, oh, there's a reason for this,
Right.
and that makes us empathize with him more.
Totally.
And everything. So I appreciate him actually like going out and getting that diagnosis and
100%.
realizing like, hey, something is wrong.
Right.
So I think more people should do that.
Absolutely.
If many people come to you with like being like, hey, there's something here, maybe you should figure that out. I'm glad he did it.
Yes.
He took responsibility for himself, and I hope that he finds his way through.
Absolutely, I do as well. Is there any other nudes for idiots you'd like to share with the people?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break and then be back with more 2K Mats, the podcast. And Taylor must have saw that Swiftie racism was trending because she took photos with the nearest black people she could find. I didn't see those photos. I heard Swifties say that Beyonce was an easier and safer choice. Like, what's that supposed to mean? The racism was showing. I luckily did not see any. I'm not on Twitter anymore, so maybe that's why I didn't see any racist Swiftie blue skies.
Yeah, I just when I see people screaming, I'm like, it's time to just scroll on by.
Right. We've been on the internet for long enough where it's like, I actually don't need to hear the
I'm not
discourse.
gonna-
I don't need
Not
to
gonna
hear the
worry
back
about
and
this
forth.
discourse.
Yes.
Baby, there's a shark in the water. Hey, hey.
Is that a Degrassi song?
It's a very famous Degrassi promo trailer that happened in 2010 for season 10, The Boiling Point. And it's iconic. It was everywhere.
I can't believe Vanderpump is over. And I know it's not over,
It's not over.
but a complete...
I know it's scary. I know it's scary, but like you gotta look forward. It's not over. It's kind of like how we see America. We're like, it's not over. It's we just gotta figure this out.
Uh-huh.
And hope that it continues.
Yes.
And gets better.
If it were up to me, I would have fired Sandoval first. I would have likely fired. The thing is, if you get rid of Sandoval, the show makes a lot more sense already, and there's fewer like people who won't be around each other.
The problem is like if they're not filming with each other, it's like you're not doing your job.
I know.
So
I
you're
know.
fired.
And the thing is, they have so much money that
Yeah.
it's like, well, what do you? And especially Ariana, she has so many different streams of income at this point.
I don't understand. If I was on a reality show and I was getting paid $1 million a year or whatever, I would want to keep that job. And so I would be like, yeah, I'll hang out with this person who I actively don't like, even if like we get into fights.
Yeah, but I feel like once you've made so much money, it's like, do I even need
I
this
need
job
this?
anymore? Right? Like I'm hosting.
Baby, producers out there, I will always need that job.
I won't always, but I will at the beginning. I'll give you a good 6-7 years. Matt P, I agree on hoping studios get the right message from Wicked success and not we need more Oz movies. I mean, Oz the Great and the Powerful did not do it. Yes, fire Sandoval.
Did you see that?
No, but I love Almost Home by Mariah Carey, featured on the soundtrack.
Almost Home, great. It has that great shot where she turns around.
Yes, that is a good shot.
It's a good shot.
It's a good shot.
And I didn't see the movie either, but I saw some people like sharing some stuff on it online, being like, "This movie was actually like quite like beautiful visually."
Okay.
So
Lala could go too. I agree. I would not miss Lala. And then it would be like, how is Sheena going to get back in with Ariana because you've taken Sandoval and Lala's side weirdly? Also, not to again count these people's money, Lala just bought like a $3.5 million house, and it's like, you weren't even on the show at the beginning. You came season 4, so you're making good money, absolutely, but making $3.4 million mortgage payments money?
yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Was it that Moana 2 didn't pay for Lin-Manuel Miranda, or was he busy with the? Did he do the Lion King?
Oh, I didn't
the
realize he did.
Mufasa movie.
I think the creative was probably set when it was going to be a TV show, right? And then it's like Lynn's like, well, do I
Maybe,
want to be doing a
probably.
TV show?
If that motherfucker does not put out a new goddamn musical,
I mean, he's working on Warriors, right?
hurry,
I think the album is out
hurry.
because we got invited.
Hurry, Lynn. I get the money's good. I get the Disney money's good, and you're so good at it.
This is like me
But-
begging Tina Fey to write a fucking screenplay.
But my God, Rodgers and Hammerstein cranked that shit out. Stephen Sondheim in the 70s, it was a musical a year. And like, they're all masterpieces in their own way. Lynn, I get it. It's a lot of work. But God, we want a new musical.
I don't think the ongoing lawsuits help, but producers also could have used that as a reason just to keep Sandoval and Ariana out for a season. I love Ariana, but she's very busy and would be fine. She would be fine if she wasn't on that show. Ariana had such a successful year and didn't need the money that much to film with him. That's what it was. Is like she just didn't need it anymore. Warriors, like the Tom Hardy movie? I assume not. Warriors was a movie.
No, that was a movie, but no, I don't know what Lin-Manuel Miranda's Warriors is about. He put out a concept album that I haven't listened to yet.
I haven't either.
For someone who's like literally just cursed him out that he should write a new musical, I still haven't listened to that cast recording yet. But I will listen. Maybe I'll listen to it on my way down.
Inspired by the 1979 action film The Warriors.
We need to get the Carolina Change movie starring Matt Steele as Noah and Fantasia greenlit. Oh, I'd be such a good little Noah.
Them being on the Valley, they're not making VPR money either. Yeah, no, because they'd be like, "Oh, we got a new show. We're starting your contract over." I'm sure the starting salary would be better than it was back when they were nobodies, but they're not going to be making $1 million a year. Oh, it really, to quote the theme song, it was the best days of our lives.
Except for the seasons that were bad.
There were several bad seasons.
So
hey, you watch shows with bad seasons too.
I know.
I would say there were. I'm like, more good seasons than bad, or maybe an equal amount. I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Yeah, 1 through 6 are all varying degrees of good. Some excellent, like 2 is unbelievable, and then 10 is good. So that's 7 out of the 11 seasons.
Fair.
Yeah.
They didn't work at Lisa's restaurant, and Tom's had their own restaurant.
Yeah, they started out of the restaurant, but then they were making too much money on the show, and it was like, we don't want to work anymore.
But it's your job. Like, just like pretend to work at the restaurant.
A lot of them pretended for as long as they could, but then it literally stopped making sense. So it was just, because as a viewer, it's like, let's do the real, like, I would rather see your real lives. Like, as weird as it was that it was like, Ariana and Tom are sharing a house, and it's like, oh, well, I just heard from his manager that he's going to put up the statement about Scandival. And it's like, I would rather you be real. Tell us about the agent. Tell us about the machinations. I want to know. I want to know. What about the rest of them? Were they still filming them at the restaurant or just doing random things? Essentially just doing random things. They would go to the restaurant.
Go to the restaurant, have a meeting with Lisa.
Yeah.
And they would be like, so, what's happening?
Exactly. It literally was that. And, like maybe James would be DJing at one of the restaurants so they'd all support James. But no, no one was putting on a surdress anymore.
Now they're going to be sitting down at the restaurant and Lisa's going to be like, so, who are you? Tell me.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. What are your thoughts on the Mary Robert combo on SLC? I cried. I mean, I was watching in the middle of the day while I was doing other things and cried. It is devastating. I mean, maybe we'll talk about it more. But yeah, unbelievable.
2 gay minutes. Are we casting Steele in musicals? Apparently not. Haven't been in a musical since 2015, babes.
Hey.
Because I want a live action Anastasia. Steele can be Anastasia. Thank you.
Beautiful.
I could do it.
You can do anything. You put your mind to it. You just gotta put your mind to it.
I would be. What if like it's announced like Anastasia starring this random motherfucker?
That'd be surprising.
It would be fun. It'd be very chaotic. Tomorrow's Britney Spears' birthday. What do you guys think of Ariana and Cynthia teaming up again for the film adaptation of Aida? I think I read they're interested in doing it. I think they would be both very well cast in it, but it's kind of just like, would we be trying too hard to recreate like Lightning in a Bottle?
Right. It's true.
How in God's name is Take It Off on Forbes' list of all-time greatest rappers ahead of Cardi B?
Why does Forbes have a list of all-time greatest rappers?
I know that's very random. I'm sure Lisa wanted to get a restaurant shown more again. In the beginning, it seemed like they were always there.
They were always there.
Sure. That makes sense.
Oh.
And the point of the show was to promote a restaurant.
It was.
And then it turned into a monster.
It did. Oh, a beautiful monster. Yeah. A monster that I loved all 8 heads of,
Steele, I love Degrassi too.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a beautiful thing.
Celebrating by playing Blackout. Yes, Britney's best album. But play In the Zone and Glory as well.
Just play it all.
Play Oops.
Just play it all because she should have been 3 or 2.
Don't play Britney Jean.
Play Work, bitch.
Play Work, bitch.
Oh, give that album a spin. Why not? Play it in the background. Come on.
Maybe stream it while you're out of the room. Like, just have it on your headphones.
Yeah.
I don't think it's confirmed. I don't care if it's bad. I want to hear Cynthia singing Easy as Life, so green light it. That's funny. I mean, I still am waiting for the fucking Toni Braxton cast recording of Aida because I saw her in it, and I was like, I need to hear Toni on these songs.
Did she lay down tracks?
No.
Okay, well.
But I wanted it. I'm manifesting it, okay?
Okay, you wanted to go back in the studio. Hey, re-record this thing you did 20 years ago.
Yes. Yes, my answer is yes. I want it. Because, man, she sounded great.
Oh, sure.
She was Belle in Beauty and the Beast, too, wasn't she?
She was for a bit, yeah.
She could do it all.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who can do everything.
Yeah.
Toni.
They wrote a whole new song for her. They they added a song to the show for her, which is
for Beauty and the Beast,
crazy.
or for
they
Aida.
don't do that on Broadway for Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
And it's funny because like you would think they would make it a little like poppy or a little more R&B. No, it's the most musical theater ballady sounding song ever.
That's funny.
Drake won't even be in the U.S. when Kendrick does halftime. He'll be on tour in Australia. I've been on Blue Sky way too much since I've joined talking about theology stuff. It might be slightly addictive.
I mean, yeah, that's what Twitter was like at the beginning. It was fun. And you could like express yourself.
I kind of like the idea of Ariana and Cynthia acting together again. I like when actors pair it more than once, like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
It's
fair.
cute. Yeah, I get that.
That is fair.
And they seem to very much get along, always holding hands and crying together.
Oh my God, they need each other.
They do.
They should marry each other. Ariana Grande should have had an affair with her.
I know. It is funny how like the movie has come out. I feel like there's such little discussion of Ariana and Ethan. Like they're never going to be in an interview together.
No.
But I'm like, I have questions. If I was in that room, maybe that's one of the things. It's like when you're talking to either of them, it's like you may not mention.
Yeah, that you are together.
I want to know. I want to know. So how did it happen?
That'll be in like the E! True Hollywood Story.
Yeah. Do they still do those?
No.
Oh.
Does E exist anymore?
E does exist. That's
Okay.
what House of Villains is on.
And that's what Oscar red carpet.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. It exists. We don't watch it, but it exists.
Does it have shows though?
That I don't know.
I don't know.
That I don't know. Besides, House of Villains is a show.
Lisa has too many new restaurants she needs promoted to waste time filming a bunch of almost 40-year-olds fake fighting. Fair.
Those fights were real sometimes.
Ethan and Ariana have both been present in group interviews.
Ooh. But were they seated next to each other? Were they?
I mean, I don't know why Glinda and Bach would be next to each other in an interview. Just the two of them.
I want them holding hands.
Radar and Break the Ice are two of my favorite Britney songs. Classics. They
Classics.
cried so much. The question is, will Ethan and Ariana stay together long enough to promote part 2?
Well, if they're doing what they're doing now, it won't matter if they're together or not because they're never going to be in the same interviews or in like giant group ones where they can be on other edges of the stage.
Oh, but if there's like a messy breakup for part 2, that
kind of good promo. Not too much on House of Villains. Hey, I'm glad you're liking it. I'm glad you're getting, Teresa Giudice. You get to at least spend time with some housewives since you will not watch the show for some reason. Should we do part 2?
Let's do part 2.
We're like Wicked. We have a part 1 and part 2 too. Oh my God.
Guys. All right, guys. Welcome to Two Gay Mats, part 2.
Yes, just like Wicked.
Just like Wicked, but and shorter as part 2 of Wicked will probably be.
Absolutely.
Yes, so Matt Palmer, give the people the ad.
Guys, thank you so much for watching or listening to the podcast. If you enjoy us, please make sure to go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating or review. We do only accept 5-star ratings. If you have any criticisms, you must keep them to yourself. If you really enjoy us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats where you can get extra bonus content from us, join the Discord and chit chat with us and, your new best friends you just haven't met yet. And also in this holiday season, if you go to patreon.com/2gaymats/gift, you actually can gift a Patreon membership to the 2Gay Mats Patreon for a friend or just a 2Gay Mats fan who just hasn't been able to splurge on the extra bonus content. You could give that gift to them this holiday season. And speaking of the holidays, go to shop2gaymats.com where you can get extra merch, new merch that we designed recently. It is out publicly and you can use promo code Black Friday 15 to get 15% off your order in the next 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So this is Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO. We got 3 emails, so I'll do all 3.
All right. Here we go.
So first question comes to us from Lauren, who is my friend.
Hey, Lauren.
We actually saw Wicked with her, and she has a Wicked question. It says, so this is a little embarrassing to admit, but when I saw Wicked with you guys, I had no idea they were singing live. I knew they were singing when they were filming, but I thought for sure they redid stuff in the studio. So my question is for both of you as movie, musical, and recorded music experts respectively, why was this live singing so much better than the live singing in the Les Mis movie? Is it as simple as, well, the leads are just far better vocalists who can pull off live singing for the film? Or do you think the recording quality of live singing has improved significantly over the last decade? And have there been other live singing musical movies since Les Mis? Further, how does singing live work with multiple cuts and takes? Do they have to nail the shot or acting and singing for the shot they use? If ADR is used in simple acting moments for all movies, TV, can you use any ADR minimally and still consider it singing live? Great question.
That's a great question.
How does that work in post for live singing? Basically, I'm impressed with how seamless it felt compared to Les Mis and want your thoughts on why that is. So yeah, they're really promoting like they're singing live, and they do also just so happen to be excellent vocalists. Like Cynthia Erivo, like.
And by the way, when we and they say they, I believe we are talking about Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. Period. Like maybe some other people were jumping. I don't think Jeff Goldblum was singing.
I feel like movies kind of like do this now where it's like, they were singing live. They were singing live. And it's kind of just like, well, how much of the live singing did you use in the final cut of the movie? Because that's never clarified.
Never.
Because it's like, yes, I believe I'm Not That Girl could have all been sung live. The entirety of the song.
Yeah.
Something like The Wizard and you definitely know the beginning was sung live.
Yeah.
But then when she gets to verse 2, you kind of hear a change in the room tone, and it's kind of like, okay, this could very well be a little more polished mechanically, like to get rid of more of like the background noise and everything. But it could also be that she just sung the first part live and the second part was in the studio or like a different take or whatever. We will never know because they will never admit it.
Yes.
Like because producers want you, they're advertising it in a way where it makes it seem like every single note was done live because that makes it seem more impressive.
Right.
There's an awards campaign that needs to happen. And it's like when people were like, oh, Natalie Portman in Black Swan, she learned how to dance ballet. And it's like, well, yes, she did a couple things, but like there was also a body double for the really, really hard stuff. But it does just so happen that like they were very, very talented singers.
Yes.
Like Cynthia Erivo can sing live. So I do believe that a lot of stuff she did was live. The fact that she was singing live when doing like all the flying and everything is so impressive.
Yes.
Who knows how much of that was the actual take? Who knows how much of it was other takes and they just like spliced it in?
That's
like,
kind of
took the best ones.
That's my assumption on most of the live singing is that it probably was from multiple takes on set and that we were kind of splicing them together. Because truly, and not to give a criticism to Wicked, but if I were to, I would say while the recording quality is much better, and I do think that technology probably has moved forward and that
it's
in
been
the past
12 years.
10, 12 years, you can absolutely say that the recording like on set and like being able to do this live is going to sound a bunch better now than it would back when they were filming Les Mis. I would say there is still a difference in quality when you are just listening to the soundtrack versus like we're going to do a studio recording. In my perfect, like I realize we're doing an Oscar campaign. I'm realizing there are reasons for this, but in my perfect world, I would have had them sing live on set. They get to do all their like specific things, like Ariana gets to do her like during Popular, but then it's like, okay, we have spliced together what the take is going to be. You filmed it, we have the shots together.
Yeah, we have that kinetic energy with the singing in the movie.
Get in the studio and sing it with the door closed. We want the walls padded. I want you to use the best microphone in the world that we're all looking at. Like, just because the quality of the overall recording is, of course, incredible, but as someone who records vocals a lot,
as someone who has that ear, you know
hear
what to look for.
Yes, and I can just hear the liveness in a way that I'm like, it of course sounds great, but like, is it as polished as it could be?
You love a polish.
I grew up on Mariah. This is how Mariah would dub over some of her fucking live shows before she put them out on VHS, because she's like, I know I did that exactly, but like I was off by a little. I'll get to the studio.
Wow, just throw Mariah under
I'm
the
just
bus.
saying.
But see, there's nothing wrong in that.
There's nothing wrong
because
that.
You're not going to be perfect every single time. Like you're a human being.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing wrong with that. But I know they also did go in the studio and record some stuff over for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do believe it's a mix of all of the above that you mentioned, Lauren. But we will never know what it is because they'll never tell us, which
Right.
is perfectly fair.
Hey.
Also, the thing is, while they also, Ariana and Cynthia are very polished singers naturally, and also the technology has been improved upon 12 years later from Les Mis. Also, but another reason why I think it's less polished in Les Mis is also because the aesthetic of Les Mis, I think they were really touting, like, we're not going to do the pretty version. We want it to sound gritty and like a little off sometimes. Like,
It certainly sounded a little off.
Because it's the raw, emotional stuff. And I think they were really, really promoting that for Les Mis, which I do think some of that like worked well in Les Mis. Like, there is an aspect of that which I really appreciated about Les Mis, because there is an energy to it and an emotion to it. But I think people took Les Mis as kind of the blueprint for that.
Right.
And other movie musicals have had live singing, like last 5 years has a little bit of live singing, like with Jeremy Jordan, like Since and everything. So I think people see Les Mis as the blueprint and be like, when did the live singing work and when did it not work? When should it be polished? When should it not be polished?
Yeah.
And so for something like Wicked, which they were like, this is going to be a polished fucking movie.
Yes.
There's no grit. Okay.
No.
like we're going for the pretty version.
Right. Only in Cynthia's battle cry.
Yeah.
Everything else, pure tone.
Yes, exactly.
Polish.
So I think just aesthetically, the movies were going for different things, and that's why it's a lot more polished
Right.
in the Wicked movie.
Yes.
So next question comes to us from, first of all, we got 2 questions from 2 different Brads, and I feel like they always email the same weeks.
That's funny.
I know. So one Brad just sent us a very nice Happy Thanksgiving email, and we just want to say thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
And so next one comes
Brad number 2.
Brad number 2. It says, I'm a terrible friend. It says, hi, Matt. I'm a terrible friend and struggle to be happy for my friends' successes in areas I value and am not successful for. Couple examples. Friends just got engaged, and that's something I definitely want. My other friend is having a baby. Another thing I want to achieve. My other friend just bought a house. Another thing I want to achieve. The list goes on. But basically, I have a hard time being happy for more friends when they get something they know that I want. I know this is selfish and makes me a bad friend. I will say in my defense, I fake it well. I don't rain on their parade or bring down the mood. I just inwardly get upset and feel shitty for feeling this way. A good friend would be happy for their friend's successes. Do you have any advice to be less jealous and more happy for friends' successes? This is a natural feeling.
I agree. I think
you're always going to compare yourself, but try as you might to not do it. There's always going to be a natural inclination to do that.
And the first thing I would say to you is that like your friends and like how like a bad person, good person, you're going to be judged by your actions. And the fact that you are vocally supporting your friends who are like reaching these life milestones that like, sure you want, means you're a great person. Like your feelings are not wrong. Your feelings don't make you bad. Like it's more like, how do I figure out why I'm feeling this way? And like, I don't like the way that I'm feeling, but like, of course I support my friends. It's just so natural to compare oneself to other people. And like, even though like everyone's advice is like, don't do that, which is like, yes, in an ideal world, we wouldn't, but it's a natural way to feel. And I would not beat yourself up so much because of feelings that you have. It's like people who have intrusive thoughts and stuff. It's like you can only really go off the way that you like express yourself and exist in the world. Like your feelings, in my opinion, are never wrong, but it's like acting on them or saying, if you were like, fuck your wedding, that's when you're being a bad person.
Like you're doing the right thing.
Exactly.
So you are a good person. And the thing is also, I guarantee you, they're looking at things in your successes in your life.
100%.
And they're looking at you like your married friends, and they're probably just like, oh, he's single. He gets to do whatever he wants.
Right.
Like, oh, he doesn't, like, you don't own a house yet, and you would like to do that in the future. But your friends who own a house are probably just like, oh, he doesn't have to worry about a fucking mortgage payment, or like if there's a leak in the basement.
Exactly.
Like, so just know that while there are goals that you have for yourself in the future, still look forward to those goals and still lean into the things that make you happy and everything. But just know, like, there are successes in your life and there are things that are, working in your favor, even though you do want something different for yourself. Like, so yeah, just lean into what makes you happy. Acknowledge these feelings because they're perfectly normal to have. But then just be like, but you know what? It's okay. I'm leading into what makes me happy.
Yeah, and like these are the next steps I'm going to do to try to reach the goals in my heart.
And
take the steps. And yeah, I feel like that's a good way to like maybe move that energy in a more productive direction versus like, because like of course we've all felt the envy thing, but like if you just sit in the envy, it's like, well, what is this doing? How is this progressing forward in this. I don't.
And it might also help to like ask your friends who, for example, have the house, like be like, hey, how did you go about acquiring this? Like, what were the steps you took? That way, you know the exact steps that maybe you need to take,
right?
Whether it's with someone else or by yourself. Like that way, you have more of a clear idea of how to achieve that sort of thing.
And we love you, Brad. We think you're a great person.
You're incredible.
You're
Brad.
a good person.
Like,
don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, no.
Justice for Brad.
So the last email is just fun.
It's just
and
fun.
It's
not real. It's just fun.
From Theo.
Hey,
Theo
Theo
says, most likely to. Thanks for being interactive with your fans. I put fans in quotations because what you created really feels like a family.
Aww.
And every Sunday, the family gathers for the Sunday podcast to catch up. In a world that sometimes feels overwhelming, you guys have created something really special. So thank you.
That's so nice.
Now to my question.
Okay.
I thought it might be fun to do senior superlatives.
Are we seniors?
I prefer young superlatives.
Are we seniors?
You both decide which one of you is most likely to fit in the following scenarios. I'll read them all out loud and we can just spitfire.
Okay.
But it also says, P.S. I was listening to an old podcast about Matt Palmer where you mentioned John and Vinny's in L.A. So my last trip to L.A., I had to try it, and it's worth the hype.
Oh, good.
Everything was great. Wish it was a little cheaper. But
yes.
Hey, Matt, it's L.A. Thank you for the recommendation.
Oh, good.
Also went to Porto's, confirmed it's and that they did not forget the cheese in my cheese. He confirmed that they did not forget the cheese in the cheese.
I had an issue.
So, superlatives.
Yes.
Most likely to change their mind about Reputation TV. Is that me or you?
Steal.
Me.
Yeah.
Most likely to change their mind about folklore.
Steal.
Me.
My mind doesn't change so much.
Most likely to forget to hit record on the live stream. I would say me, but
Look.
last week, I don't know.
Well, when you're doing so much of the technical work, something can fall through the cracks. I'm going to say neither. We've never forgotten to record a live stream. And also, we have a backup if we're doing this live stream.
Yeah.
This is recording like the stream that we're doing. So
But for the most part, it would be me. Because sometimes I'm like, you're like, are you going to hit the record video button that we have to do? And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. So me, most likely to break up the two gay Matts to pursue another passion.
I think Steele. Like, because if Steele got Bach, he'd be like, see ya.
Bye, bitch. I think there's more that would pull me out of LA than you.
Yes. No, I've put down roots here.
Yeah.
And
but it's like opportunities could happen. As I said in the live stream, I did get that Wicked audition.
You did
for the movie, and I would have had to move to London for like almost the entirety of 2022.
Right.
So I would say me.
Yeah, we'd make it work.
We'd make it work. We'd still have a podcast remotely.
If Bowen can keep doing his fucking podcast. It
happened. And just like that, the Christmas lights fell.
That was the ghost being like, bitch, you better stay in this podcast.
All right. Most likely to get cast on a reality show.
I could see either of us. I feel like you send in tapes more than I do.
I send in a Big Brother audition every year and go to the live casting. But I mean, so with my success rate for that is 0. So maybe it's you.
I think we'd both be great.
Okay.
Yes.
Most likely to compromise in a bracket video.
I have compromised in the bracket videos.
I've compromised too, but silently. I don't make a big fuss about it.
I make a fuss. I make a fuss. I think I am more likely to compromise.
I think you've made bigger compromises.
I have. Yeah. I have.
Watch our bracket videos to know.
Yes.
Most likely to have a viral moment. Well, Matt Palmer was the one that had the Beyonce which goes viral every Christmas.
Oh, yes.
With the surprise release.
Right.
So,
but hey, you were viral with your Turkey Lurkey time and your Best Supporting Actresses. And
sure.
So
both of us.
Both of us. Yes, there were
iconic.
two gay Matts.
But I think you, because it happens yearly for you.
It's just the same video.
I know, but hey, you have it. Most likely to realize they've been in love with the other Matt all this time.
Think not applicable.
I'll say me because I find that I tend to like someone more like as time goes on. I'm not someone who like immediately has a crush on someone. It's like I like when I really get to know someone, that's when I realize like, wait, no, I love you.
I feel like
I think me.
There are guys I've dated that like grew on me through our time together. But most of the time, it's usually like upfront, like, oh no, I love you.
Are you saying? Okay, that's why it's probably me.
Right.
But are you saying I could grow on you?
I mean, it's been 12 years.
All right. Most likely to move back to New York, me.
Matt Steele.
Yeah. So that's that.
That's that. Matt Steele, you're most likely to do a lot of things.
I mean, I am a very active person, which is interesting because I go to bed at night often just like, what did I do today?
Well, there you go. Now you know.
Now I know. I potentially could fall in love with Matt Palmer.
You could.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Matt Palmer, do you have a 2 gay minutes?
I mean, It's not going to be 2 minutes. I'll just shortly say, if you're watching Housewives this season and you've fallen off Salt Lake City, make sure to watch the last episode, the episode in which Mary talks to her son at the very end about his, I guess, what is a drug addiction, which, like, you're watching all season, you're seeing Robert Jr. go up to his bedroom and, like, he seems a little out of it, but it seems like he and, like, his girlfriend or wife, unclear, are, like, very high, but, like, you think it's like, oh, they're just, like, on weed or on edibles and, like, just being lazy. And then she has the conversation about, like, he's like, okay, so I started doing Xanax and had to balance it out with an Adderall. And then I just started taking Xanax with everything because I love it so much. And Mary breaks down and is like, you know, you could die, right? He's like, I wanted to. Like, it's truly devastating and, like, beautifully shot. But it's like, it transitions from a scene where it's like, oh, this is
not
regular.
Beautifully shot.
But it's just like a
The
beautiful scene.
cinematography.
And you're going from Housewives moment to, like, oh, this is almost like intervention level with this child, and you didn't see it coming. And Mary has given an update that, like, I believe Robert Jr. has gone to rehab and is doing way better now, so it's beautiful. But, like, it was just the realest thing I had ever seen, and it came out of nowhere, and I burst into tears in the middle of the day watching the scene. And so it was just, if you're into Housewives or into, like, real people having real emotions, watch the last season of this past week's Salt Lake City episode.
And that's what you can get with the new Vanderpump. New people.
I don't know. Who knows if they have it?
We're happy that, what's his name, Robert?
Robert Jr.
We're happy Robert Jr. is getting the happy
Absolutely.
needs we love. I'm also looking at the live stream chat regarding me falling in love with you. It says Palmer is wearing plaid right now.
It's true. I am wearing plaid.
And
that is.
we all know. My ex wore plaid.
Yes.
Tank top that says my ex wore plaid and button.
Available now. Shop2gaymats.com.
Bitch. Okay, should
All
we
right.
go on to Giving Me Moments?
Yes,
the
Matt
section
Steele.
of the podcast where we talk about what has given us life this week.
Yes. Matt Steele.
Yes.
What's been giving you moments,
So as we all know, we did not have a live stream last Sunday because we had a live show.
Yes.
And so I had my Sunday night off. And so I went with my friend Alicia to see Gladiator 2. And you know my friend Alicia.
Yes.
My friend Alicia is the fact that she is not a reality star is so wild to me. She's even though she was on 2 episodes of Blind Date, apparently. In like 1997
I didn't know that.
or whatever. And she is the biggest personality you will ever meet on the planet. And so she was like, do you want to see Gladiator 2 with me? And I was like, I would love to see it with you. A big action movie with heads being cut off next to Alicia. Yes. So I go and see Gladiator 2 and she's the best person to see it with because literally every moment she's gasping. She's wiggling in her seat. She's going, oh. She'll like, there's a part where she'll like point to things. There's a part where they're in the Coliseum and they're like in a body of water and there's like shark. You see shark.
I've heard of that.
Fins like going around. She'll literally literally jump up and like point to the screen as if like the rest of us couldn't see it. Like she will do that. Like whenever a surprise happens, there's I guess you would call it a twist, maybe, but I predicted it from like the second the movie started.
All right.
And it's pretty obvious from like 15 minutes in.
Don't tell them what it is.
I'm not going to tell them what it is. But when it's like totally fully confirmed, like an hour and a half into the movie, she was like, oh my God, it's him. And it's like, girl, yes. But anyway, enough about Alicia. The movie's really great. I had a really, really great time. I kind of, and this is a controversial opinion, I liked it about as much or maybe a little more than the first. I think the plot of this one, of the second one, just sort of takes you in, takes you to more places. Okay. There's a little bit more like supporting character action. Like there's a lot going on with Denzel's character that's really fun, along with the other supporting characters. There's just like more, there's more plot that's happening. And it's the similar sort of story, like guy back, in the day, his wife is killed tragically under horrible circumstances because of Rome, and he eventually gets sold into slavery, becomes a gladiator, and tries to, get revenge for his wife.
Great.
And so same story, similar as the original Gladiator, but there's more to it. But it's really good. It's really entertaining. There's really kind of moments that made me laugh out loud in it. Like remember in Glitter where Mariah she is a child and she has a cat.
Of course.
In all the flashback scenes.
Whisper,
the cat.
Yes.
And then it's, flash forward and she's now an adult. It's, maybe 15 years later. I mean, we don't have knowledge time. So it might have been 5 years later for all we know. But it was a significant time later. And all throughout the movie, you do not see this damn cat because you assume the cat is fucking dead.
For sure.
But near the end of the movie, there is a climactic argument scene. And at the end of the argument, Mariah Carey reaches off camera and picks up fucking Whisper. And you're like, where has this cat been the whole time? There's kind of a moment like that with a bow and arrow where, spoiler alert, but it's the beginning of the movie, so it's not a spoiler. His wife dies by bow and arrow. And so he rips off the end of the arrow and like keeps it. Then we go through an hour and a half where he's sold into slavery. He has no possessions and everything. And then near the end of the movie, you see him and he picks up the end of the arrow. And it's like, Paul, were you hiding that in your ass the entire time? Like, how do you still have this bow and this arrow? He also like still has his wedding ring.
Wow.
They gave each other. It's like, when you are, I don't know much about slavery in the Roman times, but like, I don't think they let you keep your jewelry, but whatever. These are all very fun things. It's a very entertaining movie, beautifully shot. The score, obviously, the performances are great. I recommend seeing it. If you just like a big movie with lots of battles, with lots of things being chopped off left and right, lots of blood, go with your friend who, is very vocal.
Okay.
Not too vocal. We don't want like singing at the we don't want that vocal, but just sort of like a friend who can just point really quick and then realize I shouldn't do that and pull herself back.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I feel like I had not heard that it was so great. So I'm glad that
I really liked it.
All right,
I feel like people are giving it shit.
Yeah, I'm not hearing a lot of good things.
I enjoyed myself. So
glad you did.
Matt Palmer, what about you?
Well, for me, I watched a film that I very much enjoyed.
What is it?
Entitled My Old Ass.
Oh, I hear it's so good.
So good. It is the new Aubrey Plaza film where she basically is the 39-year-old version of the 17-year-old main character who is like about to go off to college, and she's in Canada with her family, but like is kind of not paying as much attention to her family and like hanging out with her friends and like getting high in the woods instead of like going home and like being home with her family for like a surprise birthday celebration that they had planned for her, and they like made her a cake and like she just never showed. It was a sad beginning of the movie. But the older Aubrey Plaza, who like on a mushroom trip this girl connects with, basically is like, you need to be kinder to your brothers. You need to spend more time with your family. And also, if you see a man named Chad, avoid him. And so, of course, that's like inciting incident. Chad pops up very quickly after that.
There's always a Chad.
And basically, the whole movie is lovely. You're seeing, you know, the young Aubrey Plaza falling and, you know, having this relationship with Chad and their situation. And it just was devastating to know that the future her was like, don't do this. And I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? What's happening? What's the issue? And it comes out at the end.
Okay.
But all I can say is like it is really heartwarming, and like the fact that it's just like the idea of being able to connect to your older self, or if you were able to connect to your younger self, what would you say? What would you be able to teach them? Is there a way that the younger version of you could teach you something? It just is like
don't major in musical theater, bitch.
It's a really lovely movie. It's like a small film. It's happening, but it's like all in the water, happening in Canada. It's a nice viewing, and it makes you feel good.
All in the water, happening
in Canada. It's a nice movie. It makes you feel good, and you know, I feel like we are at an age where we could be called by our younger selves any day now. So I hope that we watch the movie and can know how to lead them along the right path. What would you tell 17-year-old Matt Steele?
Yeah, don't major in music. No, I shouldn't say that. I had a great time in college, and I feel like I learned a lot.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it to become lucrative. The lessons I learned, but it will. I am confident it will.
You're natural on camera, and that's making
Thank
you
you
some
so
money
much.
these
And
days.
according to the people, I'm moving back to New York.
Well, no, you're not.
not just yet.
Not right now.
Yeah, but everyone I have talked to about My Old Ass has said that it's like one of the best of the year.
It's
so
great.
I'm really, and it sounds like a movie that's right up my alley, like a comedy that's just like has depth to it, but is still like a comedy and like and works so well. Is just like really tight and entertaining. So
yes, no, it's lovely.
That's my bag. So
I recommend
what's it on?
It's on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, I have that.
There you go.
It's one of the few streaming services I pay for.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, then you can use it. Give it a watch. I think you'll enjoy it. And guys, thank you so much for listening to and or watching the podcast. We'll be back this time next week with more 2K Mans.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Cute,
guys.
Oh, we did it.
As someone who's in their 20s now, needed this. Girl, wait till you get to your 30s. 20s. You're young.
You're young. You're young. We're all still young.
We're all young.
Yes.
As time goes on, you realize I'm still young. Mariah's right. like I should be saying, well, first of all, I'm still young.
First of all, I'm still
to
young.
everything because we are. We're all young.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. But I do think you don't start like there's not an age where you start feeling like, oh, I'm wise now and like settled. Like you're always, I don't know if it's just because of what we do, but like it's like you're always, striving and working and having big dreams, you know?
New things. Your life is never over.
Yes.
It's not over till it's over. Until the Romans come and shoot you with a bow and arrow in the chest, and then your husband's got to avenge your death.
Yeah. I don't need to see that movie.
No, it's not a you movie.
Yeah, I didn't sound
It's not
like
a you movie, but I enjoyed myself.
I'm glad.
And it's fun to go with Alicia.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. To forget to hold space for defying gravity. Yeah, I was like, is that a story? How would we even explain that? I don't think it is. But it's a funny clip. It's a funny clip. And so that's what TikTok is for.
The whole Wicked press tour is. I wonder what the Oscar campaign is going to be like. Insufferable, but amazing.
Was this not the Oscar campaign?
Oh, girl, it is not January, February yet.
What are they gonna do?
I don't know, but it's gonna be wild. Universal's gonna have the money to do it.
I
too.
know they.
That's why
absolutely
I really think it could. I really
wow.
think it could. I mean, it's Best Picture is kind of wide open. I mean, like. I don't know, like the critical like acclaim movies are either The Brutalist or Anora, but I mean Wicked's right there. I think a lot of the Academy members would also like Conclave. I don't know. I could see the buzz. Maybe it is peaking too early and it could fall. I don't know. We could be in a very different spot come February. We'll talk about it on 2 Gay Mats.
Do you think, like percentage chance, Ariana wins Best Supporting Actress?
Zoe is still the front runner.
Okay.
I could see the Ariana buzz being I don't want to say mostly online, but I could see it really being pushed in online spheres.
Sure.
Maybe not necessarily an actual like Oscar voter terms because they're not as online, but also Wicked's being nominated for Best Picture. I don't know if Emilia Perez is going to get in a Best Picture nominee. It could. Netflix is putting a lot of money into that awards campaign. But if a movie is not nominated for Best Picture, it's already like at a slight disadvantage because some voters, they're just like, I'm just going to watch the Best Picture nominees. Right. And so if Emilia Perez gets nominated for Best Picture, which it very well could, I could see Zoe still maintaining her frontrunner status.
Okay.
I'm curious to know your thoughts on that movie.
What, Emilia Perez?
Yeah.
I'm nervous to see it. I mean, I'm sure I will. I'm nervous to see it not because of the story, but like everyone's like the songs aren't great, and I'm like, well then why don't we?
I liked a lot of the songs.
Okay, all right.
They're weird. Like
Okay.
it's weird, but like you're not there for like, oh yeah, this is a defying gravity moment. Like the music, I think the music is interesting. I think the score is very interesting. So I appreciated the score, and there are 2 songs that I listen to a lot, maybe 3, that I actually like have been streaming a lot.
All right.
So go in being like, oh, I'm gonna find my favorite song of the year.
Yeah.
Here. But it's more about the story, I would say, and how it's done. There are choices that are made where it's just like, what? But the story keeps you invested.
Okay.
So I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I know. I mean, maybe
if Selena Gomez gets nominated,
that's
you gotta
true.
see her.
I do like Selena, and I only want good things for her. She's great on Only Murders.
Yeah.
And loved a handful of her songs. So love Selena. Love Selena.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. Well, maybe I will watch it.
Give it a watch.
Maybe I'll give it a watch. Yeah. I don't have a super pull to see anything specific. I mean, I do. People are talking about Queer in the chat. I do want to see that. I love a gay movie. Daniel Craig and who?
Drew Starkey.
Drew Starkey.
Yeah.
Who is that?
He's on the show, West.
EastEnders? Outsiders?
No, the show that young people love on like Netflix.
Outer Banks.
Outer Banks. Yes.
Mariah said it was one of the shows she was watching. I was like, oh, I know those kids are making you watch that show.
I know.
But hey, she's watching Abbott Elementary as well. So I was like, yes, taste.
Dune 2 is my personal favorite, but Warner Brothers may not have enough money to throw at it. I mean, Dune 2 is brilliant cinema. Like, Dune 2 is phenomenal, but like it came out so long ago, but it was hugely successful. Like, so We'll see. Maybe they're like letting it lie for a little bit, and then they'll give a good push as time goes on, so it doesn't like lose that buzz,
Right.
like something like Wicked might do. Yeah, you need to see Anora though.
Anora, I feel like I'm interested. Yeah.
You would just like watch Anora and just be like, "This is silly," but it's also like so. The characters are so good. Like, it's just great.
Is it streaming anywhere? Do we know?
No, it's not. It's
it's
still
theatrical right
in
now?
theaters.
Yeah.
So I'm sure by the time the Oscars roll around, you'll have seen. Jackson will be like, "We're watching this." I'm sure you will have seen stuff.
Dune 2 is still my fave this year. My old ass is actually number 2. Oh my God, Jeff loves my old ass. I love it. It was good.
Yeah,
It was good.
I could also see Wicked 2 having more of an Oscar chance.
Is that because that's what they did with Lord of the Rings, right? They waited till the last
That is. The first act of Wicked is better.
That's true.
Well, it's
They need
just
to be-
more happens.
Yeah.
More happens.
Right.
Like second act is good, but like the first act is chock full of so much stuff. And the way they made that movie be able to stand on its own is very impressive.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested. I mean, of course, they're going to be pushing Best Original Song next time around if they're making new songs for the second act. I wonder what those are going to be like.
yeah.
Hope they're great. Hope Cynthia gets to belt it out.
I know she'll be belting out No Good Deed. I imagine there will be a song for Ariana too.
Yeah.
Especially because I was talking to a friend who was just like, I have talked to some people who are slightly connected, and it seems like Glinda's role is a little expanded in the second movie.
Oh,
so
okay.
maybe like they're campaigning for Ariana lead for the second movie.
Okay.
Cynthia supporting. Even though how do you campaign Alpha for supporting? Like what the fuck? That's
Right.
not.
That's wild.
I mean, I also think how do you campaign Glinda supporting? But
Yeah.
but
There are 2 new songs in the second film too. Okay, great. Maybe one for Cynthia, one for Ariana.
I would love another song like "What Is This Feeling?" Like another bop.
Another bop.
There's no bops in the second act of Wicked except for Wonderful. But
I listened to the second act because I had forgotten everything that happened. And I was reading the synopsis. I was on a walk. I think it was either Thanksgiving Day or the day before, and I was like, oh. I was like, I can't believe this. Things change. Second act, things change.
things change.
Telling you.
Wait, did Steele say Wicked was better than Lord of the Rings? No, I didn't say any. No, I meant Act 1 of Wicked is better than Act 2 of Wicked.
Right.
I wouldn't compare Wicked and Lord of the Rings. One is PG. One is PG-13. Duh.
I'll say I've fallen asleep to the beginning of Lord of the Rings multiple times because that expanse, woo, that'll put you right to sleep.
They're different sensations.
Yeah.
One has my baby Sean Astin. Oh, Sean Astin in that third movie robbed of an Oscar nomination. I will always be angry.
It's been a while. It's been like 20 years.
Do you know me? I am bitter about Oscar decisions for the rest of my
I
life.
hope one day.
Hong Chow not getting nominated for Downsizing is my villain origin story.
I remember.
Jacob Tremblay not getting nominated for Room, Village origins. I have many villain origin stories.
Hey, but Brie won.
But Brie won.
Brie won.
Which is a great win.
Great win.
Jacob.
You should have been nominated as a Flounder too. You know, you could have been.
I did not see the Little Mermaid.
Oh, it's
so.
good.
Is it that good in Little
No.
Mermaid? Okay.
But Halle Bailey was incredible. What a vocal.
It's We Can't Be Friends, the Wicked version. We Can't Be Friends was in the middle of Wicked too. Yeah,
Then maybe it would finally get the award it deserves.
Yes.
It should have been nominated for Record of the Year, Song of the Year. What are y'all doing?
I fell asleep at the first Lord of the Rings and it was IMAX.
Yeah,
Wicked,
see.
so successful Universal's going to ask for Act 3. I don't need an Act 3. Like,
Yeah, what's it gonna? No.
Yeah.
I don't need that either.
yeah, I never saw the Lord of the Rings films. They're too long.
Sam Wise was the goat. Who's Sam Wise?
Samwise is Sean Astin.
Oh, his character in
Rings.
the Rings movies.
My future husband.
I don't know. Is he? I assume he's straight.
Yeah, he has a wife and kids.
So why is he your future husband?
Because I said so.
Oh, okay. Well,
It could happen.
It's good to have dreams. I think dreams are beautiful.
I have many future husbands.
JLo not getting nominated for Hustlers is my villain origin story. That was surprising.
That's surprising. Yeah,
Remember
Hustlers is good.
Remember when Jennifer Aniston was going to get nominated for?
Oh, she had that whole. I know, but there was a very small vocal campaign for Marion Cotillard.
What was? I didn't even remember what the Jennifer Aniston movie was.
Cake.
I don't even think I saw it. but I was like, oh,
No, we watched it together.
I don't remember it at all.
We like rented it or something.
What
or
happens
on, like,
in
iTunes. It's a woman living with chronic pain.
Mm.
Yeah, she's very good in it. Schwartz said they're working on something else Wicked related. There are more books they could adapt. Hey, make that money, Winnie and Steve.
At first, I was like, Tom Schwartz? Like from Vanderpump? But no, you mean Steven Schwartz.
Which is better, the Wicked movie or the Wicked musical? I've fallen asleep to Wicked twice. Broadway and really? I mean, did you fall asleep to the movie?
Yeah, go to the movie.
The movie, I mean, we only got Act 1 in the movie, but I like how like fleshed out things were.
Yeah.
In the movie. I think I don't know. I love them both. I'm very happy that the movie is a successful adaptation.
Absolutely.
Both critically and financially.
What do you want adapted next? What?
Literally anything. I love a musical movie.
That's true.
Anything, as long as it's good. If it's cinema, like
Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde. Anderson changed her hair and thought Oscar.
She's good in that. She's great in Cake.
I believe him. I don't remember it.
I mean,
believe him.
Marion Cotillard is excellent in, what is that movie called? 2 Days, 1 Night, I think it's called.
Okay.
It's a very good. I liked 2 Days, 1 Night.
Who won that?
Who won that year was Julianne Moore for Still Alice. Was 2014. The Rachel hair. I've heard people throw out ideas for a Wicked Universal theme.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I hope that they just do the two and are done. Right? They're not going to do it. Like, let's not make a whole new thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But people love that shit. That shit makes money. All those new Harry Potter movies.
They do.
Like, they're all just, and it's like, is this a real incarnation? I mean, I guess if they're good, they're good. I haven't seen any of them, so I've only seen the regular Harry Potter movies. But if they're good, I guess I'm happy. I posted this on your reaction, but I'm still laughing at the lady behind me at Wicked who didn't know it was based on The Wizard of Oz until about halfway through the film.
That's so funny.
Oh my God, I have to catch such an early train that I can catch. You guys say hi.
I'm the Pokemon Simon on the Discord. Oh, hi, Simon. Oh my gosh. It's so, I feel like Simon can never be on because, so far away.
I want to know what this ragtime is y'all keep talking about, waiting for the adaptation.
It's one word, by the way, Jeff.
Duh. Wow.
Duh.
Yeah.
It's like when people would try to spell like charm bracelet as two different words. The Mariah album, it's like, no, it's one word.
A couple days ago, you typed Nessa Rose as two words.
Whatever. I have.
So don't be all bitchy.
Whatever. Nessa Rose. Speaking of the second act of Wicked.
Don't spoil.
I'm not spoiling, but my brows were furrowed. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, she's a complex character. She's been through a lot, all right?
I can't respond because I'm not supposed to spoil.
Okay.
But.
We're looking at you,
see those
Nessa.
eyes?
Oh, Cake and Still Alice. That sounds like a depressing line.
It was that. Adapt the baseball play with full frontal nudity. Oh, my God.
Oh, Take Me Out.
Yeah.
Yes, we need a ragtime musical movie. Oh, I want the budget for that. Oh, I want a big old budget for that. Oh.
I mean, speaking of dark, that would be.
Oh, my God. To see that, I just picture it on the big screen and I just cry.
Oh, can't wait to see what they do with Buffalo Nickel.
Maybe if we moved that somewhere else. I don't know.
Don't play with perfection. All right, y'all.
Y'all.
I think it's time. We love you.
We love you so much.
All right, but charm bracelet should be 2 words. It's not. Mariah made the decision. Charm bracelet.
It's an artistic decision. We broke the rule for a reason.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You got to know the rules to break them, and Mariah knows the rules.
Wicked doesn't come out here for another 2 weeks. Where are you?
Oh, no.
Take Me Out is actually a great play, just besides all the nudity. Rumor is Encore's production is transferring to... the Encore's ragtime is absolutely transferring.
It's supposed to be good?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's ragtime, baby.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
We love
you.
Everyone have a great night.
Have a great night.